Bum 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 bum. No, we're not going to be talking about bums. Well, maybe. You never know with this stream. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Way of the Brush with me, your host, Kris, aka the Name Butcher. Whoops, aka guy who can't keep playing with his lights. There we go. AKA Kris, you're being creepy again. Way of the Brush, the most informative 120 minutes on the internet on the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about penning, terrain, conversions, and just about everything under the sun. Meaning no topics are barred. We'll talk about anything and everything. So, first-time viewers, be warned. If you're watching this after the fact, you can always submit questions or use the hashtag wayofthebrush.com. And yeah, because we do the Instagram portion of the show. And we also do an email segment of the show. Email segments, if you're going to send pictures, send them as attachments and emails. Don't send it off as links to other sites because it's annoying and there's ads and, crap like that, right? So now, normally when you use the hashtag Weight of the Brush on Instagram or any other things, I might heart it, like it, whatever, but I usually don't post any kind of critiquing unless, of course, I'm asked, which is why we have the email segment, because that's where I prefer to, have you say, Kris, tell me what's happening here and, what are your thoughts and blah, 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 right? So that's how I prefer to work that kind of stuff. But otherwise, yes. Otherwise, yeah. Links, stuff, waythebrush.com, t-shirts. Watching this on YouTube, you can see down below. And you can go to waythebrush.com, hit the t-shirts, and there's all sorts of stuff available. Hoodies, tank tops, even women's and men's, all sorts of stuff. Excuse me. But anyway, that's the condensed version. I don't have my intro on here, and I actually was reworking my intro. So at some point, I will have a new intro for the show, just for anybody who, cares or what have you. But anyway, yeah. We got kind of a full one today, folks, as Warhammer Fest it's over for the day, I think. UK time, it's like, dinner time? I don't know, there's probably still people milling about and, hanging out, gaming and tournaments and such. But anyway, Warhammer Fest, I was talking about doing a live stream for the reveals. No, it's like 4 a.m. for me, so no, that's not happening. It's not happening. I'm sorry, it's not happening. And yeah, everybody's just gonna have to get over that because it's not happening. It's too damn early in the morning for Kris to be up just to talk Warhammer. I mean, I'll be up here, and by 4 a.m., I'm usually well into my brownies, and yeah, it's not happening. It'll be really kind of weird. It'll just be, that's pretty cool, man. Woo, woo. Yeah, end up sounding like Otto from Simpsons. Who's joining us today? I can see Evan Belleau. What's up, everybody? Dark Commission, afternoon, Kris and Monkeys, afternoon, Sophie Wiley. Happy Way of the Brush Day, Kris and Monkeys. Happy days. Nathaniel, greetings, Kris and fellow monkeys. Greetings. Scott Radom, there he is. Hey, folks. Hey. Nathaniel, no more Carl's intro. Like I said, I'm reworking the intro. So, yeah. And also, I've tasked my brother with creating another intro. I don't know how much work he's gotten on it, so I don't know. But yeah, he's my music man. He's my music man. I rely heavily on my brother, my very talented brother, Evan, to help his older, infirm brother out. I'm saying brother a lot. I feel like Hulk Hogan. Brother! Sid Tyler. Way of the bro. Bro. Why, did I misspell it again? Did I misspell it? Bro. But anyway, yeah, so as I was saying, we have a lot of things to talk about today because, yeah, it's Warhammer Fest. Big 10th edition Warhammer 40,000, the new 40K was revealed today. Box art, all the contents, all the miniatures. Holy cramoly, a lot of stuff. Also, there was some Warcry, Warhammer Underworlds, and Lord of the Rings? I think it was Lord of the Rings. So, yeah, a lot of fun. Excited to see what's going to happen for tomorrow. Have no idea. None. I have zero. No clue. I'm not privy to special information, so don't ask. Ghost of Starman. Hello, Kris and Monkeys. A long time no see. Unfortunately, I missed the big return But I'm very happy to be here. Hope everyone is well. Yes, everyone seems to be okay. Everybody seems to be in good spirits. Let me just make sure that everything is moving along appropriately. Right? Excuse me. Kind of half burp going on here. All right. So, you know what? Let's head over to the website. Whoops, wrong one. Whoops. So anyway, yeah, they got the Warhammer Fest live going on, or yeah, is it live? I think it might be live. I don't know. But anyway, we're going to talk 40K because that's really what we're all excited about. Spanglish? Do we want it in Spanglish? So yeah, look at that. Leviathan. My God, Leviathan. And yeah, it's pretty darn interesting. Oh, ads. Fucking ads. It's got a nice little video. Contents. What's in the box? 25 Space Marines, 47 Tyranid miniatures, as opposed to big models. Exclusive Warhammer 40,000 Leviathan rulebook, chapter approved Leviathan mission deck. So I would assume that Leviathan mission deck is just for, obviously, everything in the contents of the box, so that you could basically buy this box, play Warhammer 40,000 right from the get-go, right? This is everything you need to get into Warhammer 40,000, other than the paints and the glue, right? It's pretty darn cool. Space Marine transfer sheet, because there's no transfers for Tyranids. Space Marine captain, I dig it. It's a Space Marine. He's a captain. Terminator armor. I like the Terminator armor. It's pretty cool. You know, lots of details. I mean, it's what we expect. I kind of like the addition of the little, I don't know what those are called, up on the shoulders. Those kind of like the trim around the Terminator shoulder pad. I don't know what you would call that as far as like, you know, what goes on suits of armor and stuff. But what I do really appreciate about the Terminators and even this dude is the fact that the Stormbolter has a nice, big, chunky magazine on it. I think that is really cool. Oh, look at the base. He's stepping on a Tyranid. That's cool. We saw the Librarian in Terminator armor. We got a preview of that last week before, something like that. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. I dig him. He looks cool. He looks like straight out of the animation. The Medic. I like this Medic. He's pretty darn cool. I like he's got the little canister containing, I don't know, gene steed stuff, I guess. But, yeah, pretty darn cool. I like it. He's even got like, he's got like a Swiss Army knife kind of on his back. He's got like the little chainsaw. He's got a little scalpel. He's missing his drill bit. The Lieutenant in Phobos armor. I think we've seen that guy as well. Pretty darn cool. I like the incorporation of Tyranid armor and things like that on the models. You know, it calls back to, you know, the old Tyranid hunters of the Ultramarines. Now here's where I'm going to have a bit of something to say. Oh, thank you, honey. Oh yeah, I forgot to grab that coffee. Thank you. Is the Stern Guard. Now, Stern Guard, I'm a big fan of Stern Guard. And as anybody knows, they're probably my favorite Space Marines. And I like that we're getting Stern Guard coming to, you know, the Mark 10 armor. But, I mean, I don't, they're too clean looking. They're too clean. They're too uniform. They're too uniform. Now, the guy with the heavy bolter, at least he's got like studs on his legs. But what I liked about the Stern Guard was the fact that they were kind of a hodgepodge. They looked like battle-hardened Space Marines, right? Versus these guys where they're kind of more of more like a jack-of-all-trades kind of Space Marine, where they bring, you know, the bolt gun with all the different ammo types. You know, they got the combi weapons. You know what I mean? Like, these guys are prepared for everything. These guys are the Swiss Army knife. And, I mean, it's cool. It's cool and all, but I don't know. They're too clean. Maybe it's the paint job. Maybe if I saw them all dinged up and stuff. But, yeah, like what I liked about the previous Stern Guard was that they had, like, you could see the different marks of armor on them. Now, yeah, I know that's a bit of a gripe, but I don't know. Again, I mean, this is coming from the guy who's not a big Space Marine fan to begin with, but I do like Stern Guard. And Stern Guard, for me, being an old-timey fan of Warhammer 40,000, Stern Guard were always the epitome, for me, in my thinking, of what a Space Marine was, right? A Space Marine was, you know, this guy who's been, you know, alive for centuries, and he's moving around and he's just kicking everybody's ass, and, you know, stuff like that, right? The new Terminators, we saw these weeks ago. I think they're fantastic. I like that they did not change a thing about these guys. They just corrected the proportions, gave them a more chunkier Stormbolter. The Stormbolter looks like it can lay down some fire, right? Now, look at the big magazine on it. It looks like it can, you know, lay down some covering fire as they move up. And now the assault cannon, like, realistically, how much, anybody who knows anything about guns, a box that big on a minigun, how long does that last? Like 60 seconds tops? Like, that's as much shooting as you're going to get out of that gun. Like, it's not, you're not getting much fire out of that gun. Now, here's the other one that seems to be the current trend with Space Marines. And I'm not sure why they're doing this, but yeah, Space Marines, where the whole unit is equipped with the same weapon. And I've made a little comment about that, how, again, like, over the years, Space Marines, they've always gotten everything that the Eldar can do. They want to make Space Marines Eldari, excuse me. And yeah, because you see that with the aggressors, right? The Melt-A-Guns. You see it with the Desolator squads, where they have the missile launchers, right? Dark Reapers, Fire Dragons, right? Eldar do the everybody in one unit, all weapons, all the same weapon, right? And now Space Marines are doing it. And I mean, okay, great. I mean, again, it just feels more like scraping the bottom of the barrel of ideas when they do this kind of stuff with Space Marines. And again, I think that's probably why I don't really care for Space Marines, because everything good in other armies, the Space Marines do, and then they give them OP rules where they do it better and more efficiently, or probably too efficiently. And I don't care for that. That's one aspect of this game that, you know, kind of turns me off, is when they do this kind of shit with Space Marines, because it's annoying. And, you know, like, okay, give us other Space Marines. You know, like, people are hollering for the classic suits, but with these proportions. Give us those. Give us those units with older armor in these kind of proportions, right? Employ the new technology on the older kits for all the Space Marine players, because there's so many Space Marine players out there that, yeah, that's really what they want. They want the different armors. They don't want all these Primaris units. And, you know, I mean, like, it's just, it's annoying. It's annoying. Then, of course, there's this guy. Now, in the animation, this looked like a regular Dreadnought, but here it's a Redemptor. And this thing is ridiculous, because, I mean, at a distance, I looked at it and I was like, oh, they got the Dreadnought, but it looks like he's on longer legs. And then I realized, oh, it's the Redemptor Dreadnought, but with, you know, the heavy weapon arms. I mean, it's a much wanted upgrade, I'm sure, for the Dreadnought. I mean, I'm sure every Space Marine player out there is rejoicing that the Dreadnought finally has heavy weapon options. And yeah, but, you know, I don't know. I mean, it's cool. It's cool. I mean, the Redemptor Dreadnought is a cool kit. And this is, I'm sure, a much needed upgrade for the Redemptor, but yeah. Then, of course, we get into the Winged Tyranid Prime. We had a look at this a couple days ago. Pretty cool. I'm not a big fan of his downward turn wings. I would have preferred his wings being upwards and flared outwards, but, you know, kind of like something a little bit more dynamic. Like, he looks like he's kind of dancing a jig, or he's moving through a party. It's a crowded party. He's like, oh, excuse me, my wings are in the way. Oh, excuse me, pardon me. Excuse me, pardon me. I'm coming through. Oh, pardon me. Oh, did I step on your toe? I'm sorry. That's what he kind of looks like. That's what the motion I get. Then we get the Nero Tyrant. Now, apparently this guy is like, well, he's a tyrant. So he's like the focus of the army. And that's pretty darn interesting. It's an interesting looking model. I mean, I'm sure everybody out there looking at this model is going, oh, I'd paint this way. I'd paint that way. Oh, I'd do a glow effect here. Some OSL up on the brains and, you know, stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be fantastic. And it's going to be amazing what we see other people painting this model, because it's pretty darn interesting. It's pretty darn interesting. I like it. It's cool. And yeah, the classic Screamer Killer. I kind of like it. I kind of wish his scything talons were a bit bigger, and not so much forearm, and not like, You know what I mean? Like, you know how he has like the little pustule looking things before his claw? I kind of wish his claw extended further up the arm. But I mean, this works too. I mean, I guess maybe they wanted to have it look a little bit more logical and maybe not too, like the default Carnifex. They wanted this to be something different. And I get that, but yeah, I don't know. I kind of wish his claws were a little bit bigger. I mean, it's the Screamer Killer, to be sure. But yeah, I don't know. I dig it. I dig it. The Leapers, these guys are cool. I like them. They're going to be fun. Termagants, Rippers. The Rippers come with the Termagants again. It looks like you get what? So if you're picturing this in the future, you buy this box of Termagants and you get what? 2 Ripper bases? 2 Ripper bases. Now, are Rippers going to be part of the unit, or are they going to be their own unit, or are they going to be an add-on, or what? Who knows? Then, of course, we get these Neurogaunts. These things are interesting. Now, I didn't really take a closer look at these, but yeah, they're really, really interesting, and I like them for a like a little troop choice. Now, apparently, these guys are like supposed to protect the Neuro Tyrant or whatever he is. And they go after psychers, and so maybe they'll have a psychic shooting attack or something like that. Maybe casting smite around. Barb Gaunts, interesting. Got like this symbiote on their side, which is different. You know, usually like the symbiote is incorporated into the creature, whereas these ones, because they're Barb Gaunts, they're more like a Termagant, or like they're the Gaunt genus, right? And they have more of this heavier looking symbiote weapon. Whatever it does, who knows? This thing is crazy. This thing that feeding, it looks like it got a Space Marine arm or something. And then they just basically feeding on everything and then throwing up this cloud. So they're probably going to have like an aura attack or some crap like that. But anyway, yeah. Then we get the book, the instruction guide, templates, or decals, I mean. And then the box of cards for the missions. And yeah, like I said, like it looks like this is a complete novel. A complete box set. Here's the one that I read this and I was like, oh, can anybody guess why Kris might be upset at this? Excuse me. And can anybody guess why would Kris be like, aw, just take a guess. Take a guess. Just take a wild guess. Go ahead. But anyway, yeah. Let me see if I can catch up on some of these comments here. Holy carmoles. I missed a bunch. Disco, I've not seen anything in the Leviathan box that makes me want to pre-order or rush to buy. Well, no, because I mean, like, if you are already an avid or established collector of Warhammer 40,000, right? You don't collect Space Marines, you don't collect Tyranids, right? It's just the book. It's really all you're interested in is that book, right? So, you know, yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it just because we're getting the new book, the new rules, the new game. But otherwise, yeah, Space Marines, big whoop. New Space Marines look awesome. New Tyranids look awesome. But yeah, I mean, if you're not into it, you're not into it, right? And nothing wrong with that. Sid Tyler, doesn't Calgar have a newish model though? Would they do that? I don't know. Job is up nut. Eldar units do everything. One carries a bag of dicks, one sucks the dicks, one films the sucking, one cleans up, all in one unit. Well, yeah, that's how it works. Devania, he does, but it's GW we're talking about. They do as they please. Yes. Kim, just a tribute to Calgar. He's not dead yet. Sophie, not bad set. No, it's not a bad set at all. It's not a bad set. It's a ton of miniatures. And its price point, I'm willing to bet, is probably closer to what we saw with Indominus. And I don't know if it'll be like Horus Heresy price tag. It could. I mean, it is a lot of models. It was what, 60 models? Was it 60 models? It was 20 and 40? Shit, I just read it and I got short-term memory. And, you know, oh, yeah, it's 25 and 47. That's 73? 72? 72 miniatures? 72 miniatures. Come on. 72 miniatures. That's a lot of miniatures. A lot. Benshun, any news on the price yet? No word on the price. Man, they just revealed it just this morning. But I would be willing to bet it's probably somewhere in that Indomitus range, or even, I don't think it'll be past what we saw for Horus Heresy. I don't think it'll be past that. If they're charging that, then I don't really see a lot of the boxes moving. I mean, they'll sell them all, but it won't be like, oh, we got to reprint more because it's so popular, right? Like the Horus Heresy box, that was popular. That was because that was such a good deal, even at that price point. And with this box, I'm sure whatever price point they're putting it at, yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good value, especially for Space Marine and Tyranid players. And yeah, I think it's going to be really awesome. Said Tyler. Also, there's literally no chance anyone is getting that box set at launch. He said it was limited edition, and they don't have any big ideas to stop scalpers. No. And companies, honestly, don't really give a shit about scalpers. Any company. Any. Because, I mean, only the PR people care about scalpers. Companies, right? They don't care. Why? Because they make a unit of something, and it's gone. It's sold. Somebody bought it. Whoever is reselling it at a higher markup, that's on them. That's that shady individual buying that, right? And trying to score some, extra dollars, trying to harvest in on, FOMO, right? And companies who produce this stuff, they don't care, right? They have their unit and it's sold. That's a win for them. Their interaction has ended. And so when people are going on about scalpers, I don't know why people are like, GW, do something about scalpers. GW doesn't care. They're not going to do anything about it because they have already met their criteria, their metric for success. They made the unit, they sold the unit. That's it. Right? PR, different story. But as far as the monetary side of things, yeah, they don't care. They don't care. So, everybody out there, okay, this is for everybody out there, okay? Stop buying from scalpers. Stop buying from them. Stop. Full stop. Stop. Okay? Be patient. Wait for those scalpers to panic and then reduce the cost of those boxes, probably even below what the retail is. Because once it's sold out on the website, right, and it's not available, then that's when the scalpers win, right? Of course, G-dubs, because it's a limited edition, I mean, they could just reprint, but the printing of the stuff, I mean, and getting it all together, I mean, that's a lot of effort. That's a lot of effort. And, it's not really feasible, I don't think. No, just stop buying from scalpers. Stop buying from scalpers. Sophie, probably £100, £150 in price. Yeah, probably around that, eh? Bayushi, why no Eldar Codex? Also, every other Saturday. Shouldn't it be next Saturday? No, because you guys got me pull out my calendar again. No, because I just did the show on the 15th. 22nd, I didn't do a show. And today is the 29th. Every other Saturday. It's a simple little equation. Every other Saturday. Scott Raiden, box looks fine, but I'm not interested in 40K, and the set doesn't tempt me. My wallet is safe. Yeah, oh yeah. No, exactly. I mean, like, other than the rulebook. It's the rulebook. Sid Tyler, yeah, I know they're just happy that they can say it sold out. Doesn't matter if it goes to hobbyists or not. Right, exactly. As far as the company is concerned, the company, not the PR, but the company. They made the unit, they sold the unit. They don't care. They made their money. The company made their money. It's the end of the story for them. They don't care. It's us, the hobbyists, the consumer. We get annoyed. And so, yes, the company on the PR side of things should at least attempt to look like they're trying to do something, right? Just to, even if they're doing nothing, but at least make it look like they're doing something. Then people go, oh, well, G-Dubs is trying to do this, or this company's trying to do that, and blah, you know what I mean? Like, because again, scalping of products, because the only reason scalpers win is because of FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. And that's the only reason the scalpers even exist, for the most part. And again, Like, this is not the company's fault. Okay, now I'm not siding with Games Workshop. I'm not siding, but this is how capitalism works, people. You're going to get exploited as a consumer, and companies are only going to do what they can get away with, right? They're only because their only motivation is money. They don't care about this or that or your ideas or this. They don't care. They don't care. It's about money. Money. They want the money. And creating this sense of fear of missing out exploits consumers, right? And allows for scalpers to come in. So, but, you know, I mean, all Games Workshop has to do is say, well, we're going to make this, you know, kind of like what they did with that one box. What was that one box? Where they said if you ordered it, you would get one. They were printing them out per person kind of thing, right? So if they had like 100 orders, they were going to produce 100 of them. It was like a while ago, but they did that. And I don't see why they couldn't do that for every release. Of course, it's probably logistically, it's probably annoying, you know, well, we only sold, you know, 100,000 of this unit, and we only sold 50,000 of this, and you know what I mean? But then again, I don't know, whatever. I'm not on that side of the conversation, so I mean, I'm talking completely out of my ass. I mean, I always am, but Benshin, I live in Japan. GW, are scalping prices here enough? Oh yeah, no, well, Ben, I mean, you're in Japan, yes. I always feel bad for Aussies and Kiwis, man. Aussies and Kiwis, just like right past the wrist and into the forearm. That's how deep it goes, right? There's like that. Like the Aussies and Kiwis, and here's GW, and they're just, yeah. And it's dry. It's dry. There might even be sand on it. Like it's, you know, yeah. But anyway. G squared. Hey, monkeys, been a long time. Been a long while. Yeah. Kim, are they not doing any more reveals today? Now soon? No, I think Warhammer Fest is done for the day, dude. It's like dinner time in the UK. And the reveals were like at 4 a.m. here, man. Like, you know, oof. Ghost of Starman. Curse City, I think they did that with. Yeah, I think it was Curse City. I think that's the one I was thinking of. Where, yeah, they were going to produce as many as needed for, you know, the consumers, right? Which basically, you know, hopefully deterred a lot of the scalping. But yeah. Or maybe they just limit how many people can have a certain unit. But that's annoying as well. You know, again, it's on you as the consumer to not go in for FOMO. That's it. You know, be rational about it. Be rational. Use your brain. You know, yeah, it's exciting. Yeah, the hype is real. Yeah, everybody's enjoying this stuff. Does that mean you have to enjoy it as well? Do you have to? Like, honestly, you know? So, yeah. Sophie, think that was the new Sisters when they came out. Yeah, the Sisters, yeah, probably the Sisters as well. I know, like, they've done it. I don't know how many times, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they have. Ghost of Starman, Way the Brush episode 397, there might be sand on it. Nathaniel, I reckon to be shoulder deep. Right. So again, anybody outside of Australia and New Zealand who is complaining about prices and the cost of things as far as this hobby, this Warhammer hobby is concerned, should just shut the fuck up, because they are literally getting fucked. Right. So just shut up. Quit complaining. Play with your little toys and just shut up. Scott Radom, I still have 2 copies of Curse City. I think I like to think I saved some person from buying a pretty lousy game. Not all heroes wear capes, people. David Vega, what's up, Kris? What do you think about 10th edition? What do I think about it? I think it's pretty darn cool. So far, what we've seen from the Warhammer community reveals and, you know, all the previews we've been getting, and I've been covering all that stuff in shorts and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to 10th edition. When 8th came around, that was great. Going from 7th to 8th. Oi, jeez Louise. Thank you. Whiz bang. Sizzle teaks? The hell's sizzle teaks? The hell does that mean? Sizzle teaks. What's a sizzle teak? I want to know what a sizzle teak is. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, 10th edition, right? Yeah, I'm digging it. And they just posted yesterday or day before about gambits, and I think that's pretty interesting. I know some people are like, gambits, that sounds dumb. Like it sounds really weedy. Like by the third turn, you have a chance to still come ahead, even though you're getting your ass kicked in the game, right? But again, as I equate in when I was talking about it in the video, it's like in boxing. Two fighters, right? One guy is getting outscored, he's getting punched, he's bleeding, he's bruised. But in that last round, in the last couple seconds of the match, he throws a right hook, bang, hits his opponent who was kicking his ass the entire match for 12 rounds, falls down on his face, out cold. He wins, despite being outscored. And that's what I equate it to. And I kind of dig that. And I am a fan of boxing and MMA, and so I understand that kind of logic to it, right? That even though your opponent who is getting his ass handed to him still has a chance to pull victory from the clutches of defeat, right? And I think that's pretty cool. I mean, we'll see how it plays out. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see how it plays out. But yeah. Dark Commission, episode 397, right to the elbow. Okay, I kind of like that one. Okay, we'll change it here. Hold on. You win, Dark. You win. Oh, there's too many spaces there. But yeah. I'm excited for it. Russ Sandbags, they said there were going to be new model released with every new codex release. What would be your number one Eldar unit you would like to see a new model for? Honestly, Swooping Hawks. Swooping Hawks, I would love to see a new plastic iteration of them, especially very dynamic with the wings flowing and they're all kind of, sailing about or landing or taking off, stuff like that. I think Swooping Hawks, Striking Scorpions, plastic kits, brand new plastic kits would be awesome. Fire Dragon plastic kits, I'd like to see a new Viper, retooled, redone, still look the same, but updated. New Falcon Grav Tank. If they redid the Falcon Grav Tank, man, they could go anywhere, right? Because you got the Night Spinners, Fire Prisms, Wave Serpents, right? You have all sorts of stuff. Hell, they could even make up a new unit for them. I would love to see the Firestorm return for the Eldar. And anybody who's not familiar with the Firestorm, it's like a Falcon Grav Tank, but on the turret, all it is like a quadruple barreled multi-laser. That's it. And it's like this big long, it was designed for shooting down the aircraft. But anyway. But yeah, as far as like new units for Eldar, I mean, Assurman, I'd love to see a new Assurman. I can't think of anything else. Yeah, that's about it. Sita, stop whining. Benjamin Old Bunny. I looked at Aussie prices were about the same as the US when you took local taxes into account. Right, but in the States, every state has a different tax. Well, in Canada, we also have, different provincial taxes as well. You have state taxes. But in the States, taxes are not that bad. Compared to Canada and Australia, they're, taxed out the ass. And now, mind you, I mean, we have healthcare. So, we're not dying from that. And also people aren't getting killed in schools. So, there also is that. You do take your good with the bads. But yeah, I mean, because Australian currency and Canadian currency, I'm pretty sure are pretty close to each other. And Canadian and Australian currency are worth less than the American dollar. And, well, it used to be far less than British pound, but yeah. Anyway. Sophie, they're always a group who complains about the price when GW brings something new out. Of course, you're always going to have people complaining about the look of something, about the lore of something, about the price of something, about how something interacts with the rules. You're always going to have people complaining. Can't make everybody happy. But it's a win if you can make 51% of the people happy. Because that's the majority. Russ Sandvigs, I like the switch from 4th to 5th a lot, and then editions went downhill from there, in my opinion. 4th to 5th, I'm trying to remember. 4th to 5th, that was when we got Apocalypse and everything like that. Yeah, 4th wasn't bad. Going from 3rd from 2nd, that was a leap, right? And even 2nd from 1st, that was a bit of a leap. Even though the rules really hadn't been changed, they got clarified, but they brought more structure to the game. And that's really when it started with 2nd edition and you know, playing more of this bring in battle, this match play, this, competitive, right? All this stuff, you couldn't have had that with Rogue Trader. 2nd edition is when all that kind of structured gameplay started to come about. And then 3rd edition rolled around. The game completely changed for the better, I think. Sure, a lot of complexity was lost, but a lot of the ambiguity in the rules was also clarified and removed. And that's one of the big things I have about a lot of these games, is especially from Games Workshop. Games Workshop is very, very guilty of this as far as their rules writing is concerned, is that the language is inconsistent. The language is inconsistent in the books, in the codexes, the rules. The rules really should be written like paralegal fucking documents, right? Like, they really should be written that way. Privateer Press, War Machine, Hordes, those were well-written rules and very clear. And even when disputes came up, there was a way to resolve it. There was a procedure for resolving rules disputes. I don't think Games Workshop, other than roll a d6, was as a solution to resolving rules disputes. That is such a crap notion for disputing, for resolving a dispute about rules. Now, if the rules are written consistently, the language that's used to describe things is consistent, then disputes really shouldn't come up too often. And that's why the game is always pushing for this simplification, because it's really the language. It's the language itself that is the issue, because it is not consistently written. May, should, can. I fucking hate those usages like that. And they open up too many avenues for exploitation, right? So, yeah. But anyway. Where am I? Scott Radham. Gambit is the very worst of the X-Men. I hate him so much. I wish he was dead. He can go to hell. That's a weird sentiment to have for a fictional character in a comic book, but okay. Russ Sandvigs, which Chaos God would Tyson Fury belong to? Corn? Realistically, like, Corn, no? All fighters, no? Since Tyler, yeah, oddly enough, GW has rarely, if ever, redone vehicle kits. Well, the Rhino's been redone. Rhino's been redone, what, three times? The Rhino's been redone 3 times. The Land Raider has been redone 2 or 3 times. Orc vehicles have all been redone. Necrons don't really have a lot of vehicles. Dark Eldar vehicles have been redone. The Dark Eldar range almost the entirety of the Dark Eldar range has been completely redone. And that's a rare one, actually. How many miniature lines, like how many of the armies have been redone completely, right? Because, like, the only remnants from the previous Dark Eldar line, they're all fine cast, and those are all going away. In fact, I think on the website, those are you're not able to buy them anymore. So, yeah. But I would love to see a Falcon Graph Tank redone. I think it's due. It is due. Evan Belleau, a couple of times. I even played was 4th and Apocalypse. Yeah. 4th edition. Yeah, I played a lot of 4th edition. I think around 5th and 6th is when I was kind of taking a break. And then I kind of was dibble-dabbling back into a little bit of 7th. But once 8th came around, oh yeah, I was way back into 40k again. 8th edition, I was back in. They lost me during 5th. And yeah. Also too, I mean, like, I'm a bit of a big baby. And my star cannons for my Eldar, they used to be 3 shots, and then they got nerfed to 2 shots. And I was like, fuck it, I'm done with this game. Fucking bullshit. And I just lost my shit. Because I couldn't kill enough people with my guns. Because basically I used to run 9 Vipers, all with star cannons. And I would just fucking plasma storm your ass to death. Yeah, nobody liked playing me. Because I'd bring that kind of shit. Scott Radom, I played a couple games of Xenos Rampant. It's an agnostic sci-fi squad level game. Same size as 40k. I don't have any desire to pick up any 40k rules. Very happy with Xenos. I'd recommend it. Cool. Sophie, wasn't first to 4th edition in the 2980s and 1990s? Bit before my time. No, 4th edition was in the 2000s. End of the 90s was 3rd edition. Beginning of 3rd edition. Because Rogue Trader is 87. I think it's 87. And then 2nd edition is like 91, 92, I think. So, as I remember it. The Lion Noir. Joining live at last, and Kris in the middle of a rant. Never more welcome. Well, yeah, I mean, like, I do rant a lot. And I do complain. I got a comment not too long ago. Somebody was making the comment that I am like, it was in the gist of like I'm a cheerleader for Games Workshop and their games, and I never say anything negative about Games Workshop. And I kind of felt like giving a big smartass response, but then I ended up just kind of getting into just a little mini conversation. But anyway, no, I mean, like, anybody who listens to this show, I mean, I complain about shit all the time. I mean, like, I don't defend Games Workshop, but I'm not advocating for them as well. They are a company. They're not a person, right? They're a company. And this is capitalism. We live in a capitalist society. Their motivations are capitalist. So that's it. That's all you need to know. That's their motivators. You know what the company wants. Money. That's it. That's all. And once you start viewing it through that lens, then you stop going, okay, well, Games Workshop wants to make more money. So yeah, they're going to do this. They're going to do that. And all these moves they make, are geared towards making more money. That's it. So complaining about it, like complaining about what Games Workshop does, when I hear it, it sounds more like pinko socialist commie kind of backward talk. You don't love America and you don't love capitalism. That's what I hear. When you complain about Games Workshop, that's all I hear. You don't like America and you don't like capitalism. That's all I hear. You sound like a pinko commie when you talk like that. When you're talking bad about the moves that Games Workshop does to make money, that's all I hear. You sound like a pinko commie. Greenleaf Terrain. You should, can always be happy. Damn girl, you turn me on. Jeez. Sophie, I thought they'd redone Orcs for 10th, as it was 5th edition. I think that was when the edition set. Yeah, well, Orcs have seen some upgrades, and the line has changed appearance. But yeah, I mean, I don't really quite recall when the last time the vehicles for the Orcs were redone, like the battle wagon, the trucks, compared to like when they were in the Rogue Trader. Because I used to have Orc trucks in Rogue Trader, and the Scorcha and the War Tracks, and those things were that big. Versus like now they're much bigger. Like the battle wagon is like this big, you know. So anyway, Benson, start a GoFundMe for Eldar Rage casualties. Yeah, exactly. Evan Belleau, the Stormclaw had Orcs, but it wasn't produced in large numbers, from what I understand. Bayushi. 3rd was 98, I think. Yeah, I think it was like 98. It was the end of the 90s when 3rd edition came out. And that was awesome. My little gaming group that we were playing games with and everything, yeah, we dove headfirst into 3rd edition because we were enjoying 2nd edition, but 2nd edition was just, you spent half the game fucking arguing. You spent half your game arguing. That's why games of 2nd edition took 4 hours, because, well, moving around, larger and larger amounts of troops with that rule set, it was cumbersome. It was cumbersome. And then when 3rd edition rolled around and we could play with our larger armies, that was great. It streamlined it and made it a lot faster. And when we played bigger games of 3rd edition, like Apocalypse, before it was Apocalypse, yeah, it was great because the game flowed so much better. Of course, Dark Eldar at that point too was really, really powerful. And Eldar and Dark Eldar fighting each other, man, that was always like matter and antimatter. It was just bang, we just annihilated each other all the time because both sides were just really good at killing. And then, of course, 4th edition rolls around, we get Apocalypse, and yeah, that's when I started really kind of playing. I stopped playing a lot of regular 40k, and I only geared myself towards Apocalypse level games. That's why I picked up like the Scorpion, I picked up all the Flyers, I picked up a Titan, you know what I mean? Like, and I was gearing up. I have like 6 Fire Prisms because in the older detachments, formations, can't remember what it's called. Where's my Apocalypse book? Apocalypse stuff is. But anyway, Firestorm formation, 6 of them, and they basically did like this Death Star, and just and it was like, and you placed like the 10-inch Apocalypse template, and it would just destroy everything. It was destroyer hit. It was great. It was great. Le Lion Noir. I actually like how you kind of promote the hobby with the Warhammer Community shorts, but then for those who dare make it to the heart of the way, we get the real talk. Well, sure. I mean, like, again, like I said, like, I don't bemoan Games Workshop for being Games Workshop, because again, it's a company. It's not a person. It doesn't have evil intentions other than greed, money, a desire for money. But when you view it from that lens, it's a company. It's this organism that is gobbling up, and we're surrounded by it. We're surrounded by all these organisms that are just gobbling up all the resources, and all of us humans, we're caught between all these hungry hippos, right? Hungry hippos is a great analogy for capitalism, and was one of my favorite games back in the day too. But anyway, yeah. But I always like to try to keep it real. I mean, I try and keep it a little more GPG on the shorts. That's just for YouTube and commercial sake and everything like that. Otherwise, I'd be sitting there, yeah, check out these fucking Space Marines, man. These things are fucking lit, But so for some people, that might not fly well, especially if somebody who's watching a short and they're on the train and they don't have their headset in, no, these fucking Space Marines. I'm like, oh, fuck, I gotta turn my volume down, right? So anyway. David Vega, LOL, FU. Said Tyler, but Games Workshop British. Yeah, but they're still capitalist. It's still capitalism. David Vega, for the Pinko comment. Oh, the Pinko comment? Yeah. But that's what it sounds like to me. I mean, I'm sure I'm wrong, but I mean, am I the only one that when you hear people complain about the prices and the greed of Games Workshop, all they sound like are Pinko commies? This is capitalism. We're in a capitalist society, okay? Not acknowledging that is not acknowledging reality, okay? Not acknowledging that is not acknowledging our reality. You're living in some sort of fantasy world. You're not living in the real world. Company, as almost all companies and corporations and mega corporations, they're only interested in money. And the only language they understand is money. And when they start to lose money, they listen. Ooh, imagine that. My God. If they start losing money, they'll start listening. Imagine that. Doing stupid ass boycotts and shit like that. That's lame. That's lame. It rarely ever works. It might scare them. They might make a shift, but it's a token shift. Stop buying their products. You really want to send them a message? Stop buying the products. Whatever they're selling. You don't like Coke? Fuck them. Buy Pepsi. Right? You don't like McDonald's? Get Burger King. Right? That's my point. That's capitalism. That's how you create change. More and more people stop doing it. All of a sudden, these companies going, oh, well, I'm losing money. I want my people back. Where are you all? Right? They'll listen. Scott Radom. I like to hate watch Discourse Miniatures. She hate GW. Last rant was FOMO tactics targeted vulnerable, neurodivergent, and addictive personality people. Shame on them. Every company does it. Every company. Again, that's capitalism. Their problem isn't with the company. The problem is with capitalism. And again, I mean, like, you know, you can dislike what you see around you, but sitting there and complaining about it is akin to just sitting there and pulling on yourself, right? Get out there and actually do something about it. Do something. What can you do? Very, very simple. Nothing. You don't buy the product. Pretty simple. Nathaniel, did anyone of you send an email? Yeah, I got an email. Scott sent us an email. Shit, where is my browser? Fuck, I can't see it. Got all these fucking things in my way. Shit, got me all worked up now. Got me swearing all the time now. Fucking goddamn fucking piss and shit. Fuck. There's your short right there. Sid Tyler, this is the way. Sophie, I don't see you as a promoter for GW, more a promoter for the hobby content and the peeps in the hobby by encouraging them. Yes, well, I try to be. I try to be encouraging. I'm really more encouraging on the side of people getting their stuff painted. That's as far as I've thought things out. Is I'd like to encourage people to paint more. And unfortunately, the last couple, months, I have not been doing that. I've just been treading water essentially. And so now I've actually been kind of getting back into the swing of things. And as it turned out yesterday, oh geez, who's that? Thank you, Ben McGuckin. Ben McGuckin. Thank you. Oh, here we go. There. Oh, there's your Photoshop right there. Anyway, so yeah, things might change again. I don't know. So yeah. Anyway, Disco. This is why you vote with your dollar. Yes, of course. That's it. And that's why. Right? There's nothing more democratic, really, than voting with your dollar. Right? If more and more people say, you know what, screw that, I don't need it, and stop buying it, yeah, they'll change their ways. The company will change their ways. They always do. Or they go out of business if they don't. And if they go out of business, well, then they gave up. They didn't like capitalism either. So, yeah. Kim, we are of one mind on the GW complainers. Yeah, I don't get it. It's complaining about anything. People complaining about Windows, people complaining about Apple, people complaining about Coke, people complaining about Pepsi, complaining about McDonald's, complaining about Games Workshop, you know what I mean? It's exhausting. Actually do something about it. Instead of just flapping your fucking gums, actually do something about it. Be proactive. Like the expression, actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. Sitting here on the internet, I'm pissed off at Games Workshop because of this and that. I mean, I could sit there and make that kind of shit all the time too. I could complain, right? I mean, you've heard me complain about all the fucking changes to Eldar and why Eldar don't get this and that. You know what I mean? Like, and Eldar are very near and dear to me. They've been with me for so long, right? It's almost part of my identity. It's not, but it almost is. We're this close. I'm like a nudge. I'm just a nudge away from being a full-on, Eldari fan. Or I already am, but I mean, you know what I mean. I think you know what I mean. Anyway, Bayushi, everybody complains about GW and their prices, but wants to play their games with 3D printed stuff. I think that's funny. Yeah, that's another one. The 3D printed? Oh yeah. No, I know. Like a lot of people are huge fans, and they think they're sticking it to Games Workshop by making their own 3D printed. And all that does is make Games Workshop go, well, okay, you can't bring that to official events. You can play that, you can paint that, create it, sculpt it, whatever you want to do it. Go right ahead. Play at official Games Workshop events. You're not entering that stuff, right? And that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. They're not stopping you from doing it. Now, if it starts to infringe upon their intellectual property and they sue the fuck out of somebody out of existence, yeah, that the people who got sued earned that. They earned it. Because, yeah, that the people who were sculpting that stuff to be just like an already established property, that's scummy. And that, in my opinion, is a money grab. That's a money grab. When people are talking about, oh, Games Workshop is a bunch of money grabbers. They're a big fucking corporation. Of course they're money grabbers. Every move they make is about money. Everything is a money grab. But when you are deliberately skirting international intellectual property law, that's a money grab. And that, in my opinion, is scummy. And especially when you hide in places where the laws don't quite go towards the international norms, again, scummy. It's scummy. It's scummy. And yeah, I mean, if you want to show, like if you're a sculptor and you make knockoff products of a particular established IP, you know, apply to those companies. Get paid to sculpt that stuff. If you really love it, then apply. And if they say no, you apply again. If they say no again, guess what? You apply again, right? Like, and they'll see it and they'll see your work and they'll go, holy crap, this guy's applied like 20 times. Look at his portfolio or her. And wow, yes. Okay, hired, bang. And then you're going to make miniatures the rest of your life. Then you last about 2-3 years, you burn out and then fucking, you know, lose your shit and move on to something else. That seems to be the way it goes. That seems to be the way it goes. But yeah. Anyway. Oh, man. Sid Tyler, capitalism sucks. My new political ideology is now, give me that. give me that. Yeah. I mean, like, I'm in Canada and, you know, we have the socialized medicine and everything like that. And it's great. You know, everybody in the States is like, fuck socialism, fuck it. Right? As their faces are falling off and their bones are getting weaker and they can't get the treatments or get the pills they need or the medicine. You know, their Americans are just dying all over the place for no reason other than you can't afford to go to the hospital. You can't afford to go and pay for an ambulance. That's craziness. That's craziness. So, yeah. But that's capitalism at work. Yeah. America. Since Tyler, I like your Seraphon tutorial. It makes me want to get some to try and paint with the contrast paints. Oh yeah, Seraphon. These guys, I just did. I posted a little teaser about this guy last night. That shield, and we're gonna work on the spear next, and then we'll probably do the base and finish off some details. I don't know if we'll do any glowing. There'll probably a couple gemstone effects in the finishing video. Maybe a glow. I don't know. It doesn't really feel necessary. I mean, initially I started this off doing it more tabletop, but now it's kind of developing into a bit more, you know, more tabletop. So, but anyway, as long as you guys have been enjoying it, that's all that matters. You guys are getting something. You feel like, you know, you're picking up a little nugget of information. Then great. I'm great. I'm glad. Scott Radom. The source videos you did, Kris, were super dope. Very cool color scheme. Actually made me want to pick some lizards up. Yeah, they're a lot of fun. I love those raptidons. Those things are just awesome looking. And the slan. I'm thinking I might get to the slan because he's holding a crystal skull, and I think crystal skull would be kind of fun. David Vega. Kris has also been working for the monkey, not for the companies. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Get the monkey off my back. Sophie, have you cut your hair? Kris thought you were letting it grow as you do a huge orange mohawk. I'm not going to do an orange huge mohawk. But no, my hair, I haven't touched my hair in months. No, my hair, like, it's just because I showered this morning. Last week, I got up and did the show. So I had bedhead. That's why my hair looked puffy and crazy. Whereas today, yeah, it's well coiffed, right? Is that the expression? No. I was the wife had had said that I should do like the Wolverine, because that's what some days when I wake up, my hair is sticking right up and it goes like this, like that. And I get the Wolverine going. So anyway. Ghost Starman, fucking hate windows. I'm sitting here in the dark and they keep letting all the light in. Bullshit. Soundgarden 88. Yeah, okay, but let's talk about GW paint pots. What about paint pots? I don't mind paint pots. I mean, yes, you do have to maintain the paint pot to preserve the paint so that it lasts longer. Basically, you always have to clear out, the boogers that gather up in the back, and open up the lid and then clear that inseam, right, where the bottle meets the lid. As long as you do that and you keep it airtight, the paints will last a long, long time. Contrast paints, yeah, it'd have been nice if they were in a dropper bottle, but being in a paint pot makes it just as easy to dunk and paint. I mean, and contrast paints, I mean, if you're brand new to painting, yeah, most people dunk their brush into the paint pot anyway, right? Versus dropper bottle, which encourages you to use a palette. And I highly recommend everyone use a palette when they're painting. Wet palette, if you can. But a palette, nonetheless. At the very least, a palette. Dropper bottle makes that a priority, right? Because otherwise, you can't, you're not sitting there like with the ketchup bottle and the hot dog, putting the dropper bottle on your brush, right? That put little, whereas a paint pot, you can take your brush, your paint pot, and you're ready to go. Whereas a dropper bottle, you can't do that as a beginner. You can't do that as a beginner. You're sitting there with a dropper bottle and put a little drop on the end of your brush. That's ridiculous, right? It encourages, dropper bottle encourage palette use. And I always encourage everybody to use a palette. But in many circles, many people new to painting, no, they're straight paintbrush, paint pot, into paint pot, paint to model. Okay. That's life. I mean, you can encourage them to change their ways, but otherwise, that's where everybody kind of starts, right? So, anyway. Nathaniel, I'd give away 3D prints for free. Only shipping and customs is on the recipient. Yeah, if you were sculpting models that were imitation of established IP properties, you could only do it for free. You couldn't make money off that because you get sued, because it's against the law. And we live in a society of laws, right? So yeah, I mean, and I mean, if you're selling 3D prints, we'll just sell the file. But then once it's out there and somebody says, I don't want to pay $5 for that, $10, $3, $2, $1, fuck that. And they go and find it for free. Then how are you going to make money? How are you going to do the thing you want to do out of love? Right? Do the thing that you love. It's soul crushing. Not the first time, not the second time, third and fourth time. Oh yeah. You'll start to lose heart. Why are you even doing this? Why are you even doing this? Right? You're not making any money. All your work is out there for free. You can't claim ownership of it. Right? So what's the point? What's the point of copying somebody else's work? And that's all that is. That's all it is you're copying somebody else's work. And you're not an artist in my mind. Not any more of an artist than a counterfeit artist is an artist. Of course, it's in the title, but but that's what I equate it to. That's what I equate it to. And I'm sure many people do. And like I said, yeah, if you're making money off that and you're copying somebody else's IP and making a profit from it, yeah, you're going to get sued out of existence. And I don't blame any company that comes after you and hits you with 50 lawyers with 50 different lawsuits and just sues you into oblivion. I don't blame them. And in fact, yeah, again, Go capitalism. Evan Belleau. Kris. Did Kris just do the controversial Trump hands? Look it. Capitalism is great. Okay. Lion Noir. As a Patreon supporter, I hope you appreciate, Kris, that I'm giving you money to be angry at your monitor on Saturdays. That's exactly what I'm buying. Do you do OnlyFans? I think there's a market. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, the OnlyFans things, I mean, we've joked about it. I don't know. I need to collab with somebody, right? Don't I? I mean, unless it's just me, I don't know. Anyway, Sid Tyler, I haven't touched my hair in months. You literally just touch your hair. You liar. With the Anakin Skywalker. Liar. Vasily Shimko, there he is. Hey, Kris and Monkeys. Hey, Vasily. What's happening, buddy? What's happening? Lion Noir. I started in the hobby in 2013. I still have some of the first Citadel paints I bought the first time. The paint still holds. It's just that there's annoying maintenance that comes with it. Yes. And there's annoying maintenance that comes with paint pots and dropper bottles. We've had this conversation a few times about paint pots versus dropper bottles, right? And where's the third child of that argument, right? Kim, chime in here, buddy, right? Scott, chime in. What about the third child? Nobody talks about the third child of this conversation. Pots, dropper bottles, and dun-dun-dun. Go. Scott, Kim, come on. You guys are supposed to be on the ball in that one. I was counting on you guys. You guys let me down. I'm disappointed. Anyway, Sophie, I need one of those paint pot mixers. Yeah, get one. I mean, my arms have become atrophied because I have no more strength from shaking paint pots. I've just got like little Mr. Burns arms now. The breeze goes by now. You know, my hands. Anyway. Lion Noir. Otherwise, Kris, I think the fresh tip on getting the paint out of the pot with this old battered brush you use, I think, and then loading your expensive Winsor Newton after the mix is done, it'd be great. Oh, I see what you mean. I thought I've done a video, or maybe it was probably at Mini Wargaming, maybe. I did a video about loading brushes and working with the palette and everything like that. Yeah, maybe it's time to revisit that one. I was thinking about revisiting a lot of the stuff I've created and just, you know, redoing it, updating it. Because some of you may or may not have noticed that a lot of my videos these days are in 4K. Yeah. Kris is all about that 4K now. I'm part of that 4K life, yo. And that was cringe, wasn't it? And anyway, and yeah, I'm enjoying it because I have a computer now, which is a tiny little computer. My computer is tiny. It's a small computer. It's smaller than an Xbox. Okay? This computer I have, but it's so powerful. It's so powerful. Handles 4K. Like rendering out a 4K video, it's less than it. If it's a 10-minute video, it can render it in less than 10 minutes. It's really awesome. It's great. Love it. Beauty. Anyway. Benshun, I asked ChatGPT to make a limerick about you, Kris. Uh-oh. There once was a painter named Kris, a Canadian capitalist whiz. With a miniature stroke, Games Workshop bespoke, in a free market, he'd find his true bliss. I love it. I'm going to copy that. I'm keeping that. That's shit, man. You fucking got me fucked up. Hold on. I'm going to tweet that right now. That's brilliant. That's ChatGPT. I love it. Hashtag ChatGPT. Oh, T way of the brush. And then what? Poem? We'll do hashtag poem. No, not OPEM. Poem. Pone? No, not pone. Fuck you. I fucking keep fat fingering my fucking keyboard. Poem. There we go. You know what? Let's create some spaces here so it's a little bit more legible. There we go. Not that I want to grammar of an AI, but anyway, I just tweeted that. I just tweeted it. So you guys can go ahead. Enjoy. It's up there for the rest of the internet to enjoy. Oh, shit. Goes to Starman. We've joked about it. You guys were joking? And if any OnlyFans for a hot tub with Gim. Yeah. Well, I got my buddy across the street, who I'd love to get on film, you know, and because I think what would be really awesome is because he has two Trump, like lawn ornaments, but he keeps them in his living room. One is Trump with his middle finger up, and the other one is like him yelling or some shit like that. Anyway, yeah, and I'd like to do a video with him, me and him, and have those little Trump ornaments in the shot. It'd just be hilarious. Just to get everybody all pumped up. You know, 2024, yo. Anyway. Scott Radom, those goddamn Pro Acro lids are the worst. The Pro Acro lids are the worst? No. Well, because they're like golden, right? Yeah, because the Pro Acro are kind of like goldens. I like golden, and I like Pro Acro's lids. Which is like the ketchup bottle lid, right? Word hollow. Anyway. Yeah, Pro Acro. No, I like their lids. I'm a big fan of this for airbrushing. When I'm airbrushing, these lids are the best. Golden and Pro Acro. They're the best. When you're airbrushing. Because you can do it all with one hand. That's why I like it. Because when you're in the flow and you're, oh yeah, swap out colors. Oh, I'll do a little color mix. I'm going to add a little bit more. You know, you just, with one hand, undo the lid, put your drops in with your same hand, close it, put it away, keep going, right? That's why I really enjoy that kind of dropper style lid. Pro Acro, golden high flow. Who else does lids like that? I can't think of any other companies that do lids like that other than ketchup bottles or mustard. But anyway, yeah. Kim, flip caps. Go Starman Deluxe. He's moved past 1080. Penis. Penis. I get it. That's funny. That's clever shit. That's some Oscar Wilde level shit there. Lion Noir. Yes, that video, loading brushes, was back in the time with the stash, the long hair, and the holy corporate overlord. Corporate. I don't. Were they corporate? But anyway, yeah. Banshun. I give you all rights in market to the poem. Well, thank you. I posted on Twitter, so if anybody who follows me on Twitter, yeah, the poem's there. You can read it, enjoy it. You know, when you need a laugh and you think like, yeah, that fucking Kris, he's crazy. There's something mentally wrong with the guy. Anyway. It's pots, dropper, bottles, and tubes. There, Sophie. Yeah, I asked Scott and I asked Kim, and you fucking guys dropped the ball. Or did they? I'm saying that as I realize, oh wait, did I even read the comment when I said that? Shit. No. You guys dropped the ball. Kim, Scott. Yeah, Sophie. Good job, Sophie. You win. What do you win? My admiration. There. Everybody's clamoring for that. Lion Noir. I recently discovered brushstroke painting guides and his video on thinning the paint. I think it really explained it well and thought my favorite hobby YouTuber should do his own up to date and in glorious 4K. Yeah, I think so. I think I should revisit some of those old subjects that I did because, yeah, I know a lot of people have asked me to revive the quick tips series, and which I may. I mean, it might be, maybe it evolves in from quick fresh tips. Ooh, there we go, quick fresh tips. But that's kind of just the tip line, right? Because just a tip is like, I prefer to keep those in a short format versus the fresh tips, which can be any length, right? Yeah. Anyway. Tolo Keneden. Keneden? Get a haircut, you hippie. No. I'm growing it out like a hippie. Scott, airbrushing with the goofy LePage glue lids for Pro Acryl is one thing, but the person who decided to use these lids for paint is worse than Gambit. And he really sucks a ton. Tolo, Kris isn't crazy. It's just too much steel plant fumes did it to us all. Yeah. Everybody in the suit. But the thing is, though, you got to remember, though, I didn't grow up in the suit. I moved to the Sioux when I was 15. So I wasn't bathed in it from a young age. Actually, at teenage years, the formative years. But yeah, the steel plant basically rules Sault Ste. Marie, which is really dumb. That's why that city's dying. So anyway, go back. The roadmap of new 40K. Yeah. So summer 2023, Leviathan, the core rulebook, Crusade Titanic War, chapter approved mission deck, and index cards. Very, very cool. Autumn, we see Codex Tyranids, Codex Space Marines. Cool. Expected, right? Codex Space Marines. I mean, like, it's been a while since Space Marines have gotten an update, I believe, on the Codex side of things, right? Then winter is Adeptus Mechanicus and Necrons. Okay, cool. Then spring of 2024, Dark Angels, Orcs, Adeptus Custodes, Tau Empire, and Chaos Space Marines. Where the fuck are my Eldari? Where's the Eldari? We riot. Well, I riot. I'm gonna riot. Where's my Eldari? God damn it. Goddamn Games Workshop. Oh, Games Workshop's live right now. Sweet. Anyway. So anyway, that was the big reveal for 40K. Yeah, we get a look at the mission cards, Crusade rules. If you go to the Warhammer community site, they have all the articles there explaining in some detail of what's going on. I'm very excited. On the other side of things, Underworlds, Nagash's little ghosty duders. I think these things are freaking cool. Yeah. These are really awesome. I like this dude. Like he's dragging an anvil or something. He's like, I gotta drag this around. He's like, he's complaining about the bill. He's like, I didn't fucking pay for 3 coffees and I didn't even get my cheesecake. Where's my cheesecake? I'm not paying for this. You could see right here. I didn't order it. This guy's playing Sword in the Stone. I like it though. It's cool. Yeah. These guys are pretty darn cool. So anyway, yeah, we get a little look at their rules and everything like that. Oh, we even get a little roadmap. Weird Hollow, Organized Play returns. Headsman Curse, updated starter set, new Rivals deck. Chaos Warband, core box with 2 new warbands in the autumn. New Destruction Warband, ooh, and new Rivals decks in the winter. Ooh, very cool. Yeah. Any of you guys play Warhammer Underworlds? I talk about it a fair amount on the channel, but I don't know if any of you out there are like, yeah, I love Warhammer Underworlds. It's a great game. I have really not sat down to play it at all. I've been sitting on a lot of them, a lot of warbands and stuff like that. I've been meaning to bust them out and get some games in because my son he's excited about it as well, and yeah, we just haven't sat down. Same with Aeronautica. I have 2 Air Forces painted up and everything ready to go. I've been meaning to film some games with it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Excuse me. Nathaniel, Eldari will be phasing out. Yeah, probably. They'll just be incorporated into the Space Marines. That's the way I figure it. If they do that, if they phase out Eldari from the game universe and just basically incorporate them into Space Marines, yeah, I'm done with 40K. Or I'll go back to previous editions. Lion Noir. I could have answered the question on pot, dropper bottles, and tubes. I bought a lonely tube of Amsterdam acrylic matte black, and it is really good. Yeah. But yeah, like, how come that is never part of the conversation? Everybody's always paint pots or dropper bottles. This one's better than this one. This one's the one for the elite painters. No. Au contraire, mon frère. Tubes. That's the mark. That's the hallmark of a real miniature artist. Miniature painting artist. tubes. If your paint is coming in tubes, that's the sign that that person is an elite painter. That's the elite. That's the Navy SEALs, Black Op, Special Forces, with honors, sir, kind of paint. Paint tubes. Your paint's got to come in a tube. If your paint is not coming in a tube, are you even painting? Are you even painting? Like, are you even in this hobby? So anytime you hear anybody, anywhere, internet, real world, whatever, you hear the conversation, paint pot versus dropper bottle, tell them, whoa, you freaking amateurs are still arguing about that? Tubes, paint tubes. Like, that's what all the pros are using. Like, are you even a painter? Like, are you even serious about painting? Like, get out of here with your Crayola fucking markers. Like, paint pots and dropper bottles? Pfft, that's so passe, man. Tubes, that's where it's at. Your paint's got to come out of a tube. That's how you know somebody is a real miniature painter. Kim, if you like the Flesh Eater Court, then the new Underworld's Warband is pretty amazing. Yeah, Flesh Eater Court. Which one's that one? Is that the Kalima? Yeah, I have him. I have Kalima. Because I love the Gore Hulk, I think. Yeah, he's a really cool model. I want to take his head and put that on the Corpse Grinders. Because that's what it reminds me. It reminds me of the Corpse Grinder Butcher. Yeah, I like the Butcher. The Butcher is probably one of my favorite miniatures of currently. Is the Butcher. Yeah, it's just a great looking model. It's just so scary looking. It's just dude, just, you know. And he's got that big scary mask, and he's got these two axes, and of course you kick him in blood, and yeah, scary, man, scary. Wow. Kim, because the tube paint is just amazing, so we don't need to talk about them. That's right, I guess, right? Yeah, like you don't need to talk about tubes because, like anybody who's got tubes and is into tubes, they don't talk about it because they know that's the shit, right? So yeah, get out of here with your paint pots and dropper bottles. Amateurs. Russ Sandbags. Would you buy a Forge World Eldar Warlock Titan if they came out with one? Would you buy the Armorcast one if one was available? I'd probably get the Armorcast one. I have an alternate head and the Power Fist for my Phantom Titan. Haven't gotten around to fucking painting them. I know. Shocking. Surprise. I know. Forge World, I would love to pick up just the Phantom Titan from Forge World. I would love to. Yeah. I love that model. It's a great model. I'd like to get a Revenant as well. In fact, two Revenants. 2 Revenants, a Phantom Titan, and yeah, my family would be complete. G Square, what are you talking about? Tubes. Yeah, paint tubes, man. Tube paint that comes in tubes. That's the true status symbol of an elite miniature painter. Your paint's got to come in tubes, man. It's got to come in tubes. Lion Noir. It's been years. It doesn't dry up in the tube. It's easy to thin with water. I'm surprised I've never thought more about this. Yeah, well, that's why you hang out with me, man. For a new way of thinking about things. To challenge your previous conceptions of what you thought about. Scott Radom. I got my tubes. 2 boxes of Curse City. What? This guy is the elite. Is elite. Elite. Not elite. It's elite. Sophie. What the Yabagoya spray can paints that are very handy for getting those base colors down for Space Marine chapters. Just prime in Wraithbone and then get the right color and do a second prime, then recesses. Highlights. Tamia. Sophie. Did something break in your brain? Did something break in your brain, girl? What the fuck was that? Yabagoya. The Yabagoya spray. What time are we at? Holy shit, it's already 1:24. Jeez Louise. Russ Sandbags, do you have any tips on working with oil paints? I'm new to them. I have Ivory Black that is made from animal bone, and I'm using on some corn models. An Ivory Black made from animal bone. No, I'm not familiar with that one. You're going to have to send me a pic on Discord or something, or email. What brand is that? Usually all the oil paints I've ever used were always, synthetic pigments. Like you get some brands like Winsor Newton and stuff like that where, you know, they're using natural minerals and stuff like that, and that drives the price up. And honestly, you're not going to be around to know if that light fastness rating holds. Right? So, you know, what do you care, really? Now, acrylic paints, the light fastness, yeah, it's, I mean, even in your own lifetime, you can see the acrylic fade. But oil paint, no, it takes a long time for oil paint to fade. That's why oil painting, in my preference, I prefer oil paint. Just because I want to create something that will last. Kim, it's now 72 colors and scale color artist range. The tube paints especially made for mini painting. Okay. Sophie autocorrect hates me. That's what I kind of figured, but I was like, Yabagoya spray. What's Yabagoya? Anybody who's ever watched The League knows that word, Yabagoya. And if you haven't watched The League, Kim, I did also back the Kickstarter with the new scale color drop and paint paints. Drop and paint paints? Full range, 120 colors. Hoof, Kim, geez Louise. How many paints is enough paints? I mean, I personally, like, the only reason I have so many paints is because, well, for a long time, you know, people have asked my opinion about stuff. Oh, what's this? Matt Hoser. I've done this 100 times. Am I nuts? Are you nuts? Oh, I looked at my hand like he was really there. I was like, oh. Anyway, thank you, Matt Hoser. These nuts. My son keeps me up to date on all those what is that called? Like, these nuts. And when you say these nuts, what's that? Is, you know, these nut, like, or these, and then these nuts. A meme? Is it just meme? Yeah, I guess it's just meme, right? But anyway, yeah, my son keeps me up to date on that, and my daughter, but mostly my son, because my son is crude like me. My daughter's crude too, but not as much. Anyway, memes, yeah, thanks. Yeah, Nathaniel, thank you. In my collection. Yeah, you sound like fucking General Grievous. To make a fine addition to my collection. That was a terrible Grievous, I know. But all right, what else? Were we done with the previews? What else was there? Oh, it was the Lord of the Rings. Right, Lord of the Rings and Warcry. Okay, we'll do this, and we'll jump over to the Grams. We'll jump over to the Grams. Very nice. I like it. Very cool. I assume this is just like a art piece as opposed to like a gaming piece, because this is not going to make a lot of sense moving around on the board. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, it's a display thing with that. Oh, okay. Oh, that it? Oh. Little light on the Lord of the Rings, I guess. Well, I mean, it was competing with 40K today, so, you know, you can forgive them a little bit, right? Then Warcry. Get some Warcry going on. Got a nice little video. Oh, yeah, Stormcast Tutors. Yeah. Very, very cool. I like Buddy with the skull mask back there. That's cool. The warrior with the lantern is kind of cool too. Yeah, these are kind of cool. Ooh, look at these. Ghouls. They're ghouls. For ghouling. Oh, I kind of like the bones on the leg. Oh, it's like sewn into their skin. Oh, that's twisted. That's twisted. I like it. Oh, and their arm is like bolted into their arm. Holy moly. Oh, and the flesh is like bolted on. Jeez Louise. They literally have bolt-on accessories. Anyway. Oh, these things are cool. Oh, I like the one with the skull head. Oh. Anybody who wants to do some flesh and stuff like that, like painting, here's your opportunity to play around with like undead flesh. Like all the different iterations of doing undead flesh. Yeah. I like the guy on the right with the skull thing on his, like, I don't know what the fuck it is, but anyway, yeah. Yeah. I like these. These are cool. What are these, baboons? Where are we? Vegas? Is that, are these baboons? Or like some sort of mythical kind of baboon thing? I'd be inclined to do some kind of crazy chaotic baboon scheme on these guys. Yeah, because they look like baboons to me. Yeah. The chief here though that's pretty wild. That's pretty cool. Oh, I can even see a hand dangling in the back. Oh, it's like they skinned somebody. That's cool. It's gruesome. Oh, and like the epaulets there are like fucking guts, it looks like. That's all twisted. That's awesome. That's awesome. I approve. I am Kris and I approve this message. Oh, little temple. Very cool. What do we get? Nightmare Quest, Flesh Eater Court, Stormcast Eternals in the spring. Start a set for new players. 4 new warbands, Order versus Destruction. 2 new warbands, Order versus Death. 2 new warbands, 2BC. What's TBC? To be continued? This isn't an episode of Batman, motherfucker. What? Anyway. Yeah. Oh, they did the pre-order. Okay, yeah. Weird Hollow. Yeah. Pretty weird Hollow. Combat Patrol, World Eaters. Made to order, Champions of Chaos. Get your opportunity to get some Chaos Warriors in. Anybody who wants the old Typhus or the old Abaddon. I don't know why anybody would buy those other than maybe for conversions. Paint sets. It's kind of interesting that they're doing these paint sets again. Let's go over here for a sec. We'll talk about this. It's kind of interesting that they're doing these paint sets again. And like, I'm wondering if this is kind of a response to people who have been going in for, you know, like the nostalgia paint line and stuff like that. And this is to kind of, you know, create these accessible hobby type of, you know, paint sets. Like I don't think you can recreate the old paint sets like back in the day, like, you know, Citadel Color, Citadel Metallic, Citadel, you know, Ark and Eldar, Citadel Space Marine sets, right? Like all those old classic paint sets. Like those days are gone. You can't redo that. But with these paint sets though, I mean, like, you know, it, as long as they come with a substantial sort of discount, because like per milliliter, Citadel paint, you know, is a premium price. And I hope you get a significant reduction in cost when you pick up these paint sets, because otherwise, you know, nobody's going to buy them because it's not worth it, right? Again, the whole point is to, you know, move this shit, right? Shade paint set. Yeah, so it's shade paint set. It's a contrast paint set, layer paint set, base paint set. Okay. Cool. Novel. Yeah, that's it. That's all it for pre-orders today. Interesting. But yeah, the paint sets and stuff like that, like it's just, you know, I don't know. Matt Hoser. Want to get compare. Oh, geez. Who that? Who there? Coming Pettick. Coming Pettick? They left already. Where was I? Oh, Matt Hoser. Yeah. Want to get compare your painting to real necro flesh. Step 1, get married. Step 2, wait 5 years. Step 3, look at your nuts in wife's purse. Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, like, as long as you know where they are, right? Ghost of Starman. So the weird baboon-looking dudes are ghouls who misbehaved and got chucked into the pitfall of Ophel, which basically convinced them that they were hounds to the point that they physically transformed. They're baboon hounds? Hound baboons? Baboon dogs? Baboon dogs. That's a word. Baboon dog? What's that? Oh, that's my pet, but baboon dog. Monday, I add to my family. I get a new doggy. Yes, I'm very excited. So anybody who's following me elsewhere on socials, Discord, what have yous, yeah, don't be shocked. On the Discord, I posted some pictures of the little girl. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna go get her Monday. Nathaniel, since when is it possible to zoom in on a live stream? Why? Who zoomed in? Did you zoom in? I didn't zoom in. Did I zoom in? I didn't zoom in. You zoom in? Who zoomed? Anyway. Kim, is it any discount when buying a set of GW paints? Yeah, that's what I'm curious about, right? Like, I don't even know what the price tag is on these. I know we've seen these things advertised, and I know that they've done these deals where it's like you buy like 10 and get one at full price, like value. So I don't know if it's just one pot of paint. I don't know. Is that really a deal? I suspect not. I mean, not a good deal anyway, but yeah. Ghost of Starman. No, they just look like baboons. Oh, yeah. Baboon dogs. Baboon dogs. It almost sounds like I'm speaking another language. Oh, yeah, baboon dogs. Excuse me? Pardon me? What? Nathaniel. Puppy's so cute. Yeah. She's cute. I'm excited. Sophie, the cute puppy. You'll have to poop the cutie on stream so we can all see. Yeah, I will. Poop. Pop. I can read. Between Sophie's autocorrect and me not being able to read. Yeah, it's hell of a fucking experience, right? Fuck, man. Take an English course. Jesus H. Shit. Anyway. Kim, 1 in 10 for free is like a 10% discount, so not much. Yeah, see, I'm thinking that those paint sets, that's probably what it is. It's probably similar to that. It's like, how many paints are in those sets? That might even be a fucking clue as well. How many are in there? 15. Okay, so there's 15. Okay, in the base or the layer set, 15 in the base set. Okay, so you get 15 paints in the set. Oh, they're up for pre-order. So let's see. Let me just fucking look at the price. So $65 for 15 paints in Canadian. That's 65 Canadian for my ass. If I was to buy these, of which actually I am kind of getting. A few of my colors actually are pooping out on me, so I might actually go pick up some paints later. Yeah, so $65, 15 paints, $65. My ability to do math is completely escaping me at the moment. I'm sure somebody else can provide me with the math on that, please. Thank you. $65 Canadian versus 15 paints. Oh, fuck. I'll just pull my calculator. Where is my calculator? Where the fuck is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. So $65 divided by 15 gives you 4.33 repeat. So $4.33 per paint pot. That's half price, no? I mean, Canadian Citadel Contrast is like $8. How much is regular paint? Yeah, how much is it? I gotta look at the Canadian. So let's go painting. We'll go paint for beginners. No, let's go by type. And it was a base layer paint. So let's look at the base layers. $7.40 Canadian. $5.40. Oh, Retributor Gold is $7.40. Stegadon Scale Green is $5.40. $5.40 seems to be the average price. Why is Retributor Gold like $2 more? Is it made with fucking real gold? I'm reading that right? Like, this is the Canadian side of things, right? Yeah, I'm on the Canadian side. Retributor Go Armor, $7.40. Stegadon Scale Green, $5.40. Everything else appears to be like in that 540 range. Lead Belcher's 540. Why is that not 7? What's going on here, games? Screaming Bell, 540. Not actual copper in it? No. Warblock Bronze, no actual bronze in it, 540. Yeah, so, oh, geez, can't get these colors. 740 for Rune Lord Brass. Okay. So why the differing price? Why the differing price? Please. Somebody who's smarter than me, tell me why. I would assume all of you are smarter than me, but Ghost Starman, the hit new movie, Baboon Dog Saints. Baboon Dog? Baboon Dog. Rush Sandbags, Rublev Colors Bone Blank is the paint made from animal bones. They burn the bones to charcoal and then use it as a pigment. Tubes. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, send me a link, Russ. Send it on Discord or email or whatever. Don't post it here because, well, I mean, you could, but find it. Sophie, this was your fault. Don't blame me. That was your fault. Scott Random, at the LVO, I bought the full range of Pro Acryl, a set of his sable brushes. They're okay. And he shook my hand and hit me with that full retail. Not even sure I got the handshake. Paint's pretty good, though. Cool. Nathaniel, $450 per bottle in the set. Not according to my math. My math said $433. But again, that's Canadian prices. So you got to be sure you're connected on or clicking on the right price. But anyway, on the UK side of things, 35 British pounds, so $2.33 per bottle. They're usually $2.75. Okay, so it's not much of a difference there for the UK. Well, no, and so the bottles, the regular base paints were $5.40, and it was $4.33. So yeah, it's about a approximate value. So what is that percentile as far as discount? I couldn't even tell you what's the percentile on that. What kind of percent discount is that on all those paints? Nathaniel, all metallics are sold as premium metallics, but not all metallics, because we just looked at Screaming Bell and a couple of Lead Belcher. Those were metallics. They weren't different priced. It was just the Rune Lord and Retributor that were 7 something. G squared, supply and demand. Yeah. Simply Made Paint is probably because of Canada's proximity to France, and you know how England and France don't get along. Canada's like on the other side of the planet compared to Europe. Nathaniel, technically, metallic pigments are more expensive than the other pigments, therefore the higher price. Okay, sure, but we didn't see that when I was just going through that example. All the base paints were $5.40. Even Screaming Bell and Lead Belcher and another one, those are metallic paints. They were the same price as the opaque colors. Retributor Gold and Rune Lord Brass were the $7.40. Why the different price for those two paints? Ebb and Flow. Premium metallic prices are to gouge Henry Cavill for his custode armor. He can afford it. Possibly. Mad Hoser, could be some sort of chemical surcharge, because cancer. Right. If you want the good cancer stuff, you got to pay a little bit more. Yeah. I mean, like, it's the little extras you got to pay for, right? Cancer. I mean, you got to pay for that. It's not free. You can't get cancer for free. In this capitalist society, you don't get cancer for free. You got to pay for cancer. Cancer is a very American thing, like school shootings. It's very American, America. Sit down, capitalism. It's capitalism. Ghost of Starman. For those base paint set, looks like a bit more than 15% off, which isn't awful given we were talking about GW. So 15% off, no, that's not horrible. It's not really great savings, but when you're looking at combat patrols and get started boxes and stuff like that, I think it's about that same discount level of discount, isn't it? It's like a 15% discount. But we always say it's like if there's like 4 units, you're basically getting one of those units for, for free kind of thing, right? So is that a similar thing to the paint sets? I mean, it's not bad. A discount's a discount, right? Money saved, money earned. Sure. But Sid Tyler, it's because those ones are fake metallics. Clearly, right? You know what? I bet you those paints, they come in tubes. That's what it is. Those paints come in tubes. Those are tube paints. They got to get it out of the tube. They got to put it in their magic machine that turns metallics into opaques and opaques into metallics, and turns and shifts the metallic colors into whatever colors they need just by simply heating and using the tears of virgins. They can make whatever colors they are. And so that's why Retributor Gold and Rune Lord Brass, those are more expensive because of those extra steps you have to take. That's what it is. There we go. We figured it. We got it. We figured it out. We got it. We figured we worked it all out. Like, I don't know what the problem is. Oh, fuck. Sid Tyler, fucking tubes, goddamn it. Good goddamn it. Yeah. Fucking tubes, man. It always comes back to those tubes. And that's, again, like when we're having this conversation, see, that shows, okay, that you want a clearer example of how simplistic the level of thinking is in communities, especially in the wargaming miniature painting community. They've only seen it as a binary problem. Paint pot, dropper bottle. Paint pot, dropper bottle, right? No. You forgot about the tubes. You gotta think in 3 dimensions. It's not binary, it's 3. It's quad, it's many, right? It's a multiverse. You gotta expand your horizons. You gotta think beyond, you gotta think outside the box, right? You gotta go in for those paradigm shifting ideas of I was trying to think of all sorts of stupid jargon to say. I can't fucking do it. I lost it. But anyway. The Wannabe Painter. Hey folks, just a few minutes of the best show ever, then straight to bed, getting up early for early shift, working on Sunday sucks. Yeah, I believe that. G Squared, episode 397. He's always coming back to those fucking tubes. Yeah. Ghost of Starman, definitely picking up the World Eaters Combat Patrol. It's like 35% off. Yeah. Oh yeah. The World Eaters Combat Patrol, that was what, advertised today? Right? The Combat Patrol? Yeah, you get quite a bit in that Combat Patrol. It's what, Jackals, 2 full units of Berserkers. None of the 8-fold though, eh? I love those 8-fold models. Those things are so freaking cool. Champion, and the champion or the hero on the Juggernaut, he can be done up as the Lord or as that Lord. But yeah, I mean, like if you want to start a Corn Force, that's a good start. And I don't know if anybody caught that earlier, but apparently in this new edition of Warhammer 40,000, they're making it so that you buy a Combat Patrol box. Out of the box, you can play with that as your army. So that whole army, the World Eaters, right? It's 2 full units of, like, it's 20 World Eaters with the Jackals and the Champion. And you can take that to a game and play a game of Warhammer 40,000 because now they make it so that there's Combat Patrol gameplay, right? It's one of the levels of, it's like Combat Patrol, Incursion, and I don't know, Grandmaster Flash or something like that. Ghost of Starman. Plus, I can get it at my local gaming store for even more money off. Well, there you go, man. I mean, yeah, like, again, penny saved is a penny earned, right? Scott, evolution of a mini painter. GW paint, dropper bottles, tube paint. At the end of Ascension Ladder, the tube paint thinned, and test the dilution by running the brush on the back of your hand. Oh, no. And licking the brush. You got to remember, licking the brush thing and using paint on the back of your hand. Yeah. Those are all the triggers. That's like the trifecta of triggers for Kris. For Kris. Hare Krishna. All right, let's go over to Instagram because holy shit, we got 10 minutes left of the show. Instagram. Nope, that's Scott's. There we go. Instagram. Did we see this one last week? I never liked it. Okay, Simple Mini Painting. I liked it. Oh, you posted it back in March. Very nice. I gotta get this one painted up. I'm not sure which head I prefer though. The hooded one or the unhooded one. I know it's tough. Choices. I know. Back in November. Oh, right, because everything pooped out on me back then. Yeah. Painting. Nice. I like the color scheme. Cool. 2 days ago. Simple Mini Painting. Very nice. I think I would have done the flies a little differently. A different color, just to separate them a bit. And the smoke. The smoke and the flies are a little too close to the armor color. I think a little desaturated color would have been better. Or, yeah, I just desaturated. Fucking hell. Simple Mini Painting. Back in January, you put into this one. I like this. I like the work you did on the big bone, thigh bones. That's really cool. The face looks cool too. The way you painted the black of the armor, it feels like the red of the armor should have got that treatment as well. Or similar treatment. Nice work on the base too. Owlbear. Yeah, we saw that. Yeah, we saw that. Okay. All right. So this dickhead posted this. This one's going to go up soon enough. I'm still editing this one. This one, patrons, keep your eyes out. Hopefully tomorrow you'll see this one where I work on the shield. And this one won't go up for everybody until Tuesday. Yeah, I'll post it Tuesday. And then the next video will be the spear. And then one more where it's just the base and finishing all the details and then just finishing the model off. Yeah. Sophie, give that a like. Working on her Escher, the gang, the biker gang. Oh, I like that you taped off the stems. Smart. Ooh, some freehand around the perimeter, the rim. Very cool. Is it like a writing or is it like a leopard pattern you're going for around the rim? Very cool though. Ooh, got another one. Ooh, getting some of the base colors down. Very cool. Oh, this was more days. Okay. I'm going to assume you're working in the fashion of laying down your metallics and then laying down your base colors, right? Or are you laying down your base colors and then laying down metallics? I would recommend building from your darkest colors and your deepest areas, so the metallics, and then building outwards. Try to work neatly so you don't have to keep, repairing, whatever it is on the armor plates that, metallic paints ends up on and shit like that, right? Very cool. Looking forward to more. Simply Mini Painting. Looks like a big old Nurgle Demon Prince. Love the base. Like the armor. Nice work on the flesh of his gun arm thing. It looks really good. The work on the flesh is really good. I like the color values you got going on there. I like that shoulder too. That looks cool. Weathering on the brass. I think it would work better if you were a bit more uniform. Over the entirety of the model. Like I see like the knees, they don't have that same level of like weathering. Ooh, I like that sword. Yeah. Really nice work, man. Yeah, your work on the flesh is really good. I like the colors you chose for that. I really like that. How it feels vibrant enough, yet that little hint of purple in there gives it that kind of necrotic like feeling without being all the way gross and. No, I like the vibrancy. I like the color. I like it all. Really good paint job. Yeah, I like. Me like. Scott, give that a like. And I do believe this one Scott sent in as an email, so we'll talk about that when we talk about the email. But excellent work, Scott. Want to be painter? Shit, did I give the last one a like? Want to be painter? American Infantry Platoon, when its support for the chain of command skirmisher is ready for the primer. I'm not quite sure which paints to use, but I guess a lot of contrast will go on it. This will entertain me a day or two, I believe. Very cool. Yeah, contrast will work really well. I would highly recommend either using the white or even the, depending on what color scheme. What are these? Are these Americans? Americans. So they're going to be primarily like a camel green. Yeah, I'd probably go with, if you're gonna use contrast paints, I would use Wraithbone spray, prime them evenly. Don't over prime, of course. Very easy to do, and then use contrast and use like militarum green and those kind of colors. Kevin Cabal, incoming collaboration with the amazing DM Garmori. Anyway. A while back, I thought it'd be fun to paint something in a larger scale that wasn't a tank or an airplane. The notion of painting a bust came to me, so I spent some time looking into some cool ones to paint. Then, coincidentally, a few weeks later, I was contacted by Mark from DM Garmori about painting busts, another short wait, and I had a box of sweet resin busts to paint. The quality of these prints is amazing, and they require no prep beyond priming. The Plague Doctor and other amazing busts, as well as a pile of other cool miniatures, are available from Mark's Etsy shop, link below. Check it out. Stay tuned for work in progress pics and final images of the Plague Doctor. I'll be painting 2 versions of this fine fellow and some fantastic looking orcs too. Very cool. Yeah, it looks really good. I like the texture in the leather. Like it feels like leather. Jesus. Greenleaf terrain. Some magnets failing, but getting there. Okay. Adam working on some, looks like Mighty Empires terrain. Very cool. Ave Dominus Belly. First post in a long while. Finally got back into painting again and finished my second Thunder Wolf Cavalry model. Very cool. Like the base. Like the details. Nice work on the transfer. Seamless. Oh yeah, really nice work. I like that shield. I like how those transfers look like they're blended right in. They don't look like transfers. It's not apparent that they're transfers, but those are transfers. Very good work. Noise. Noise. Yeah. Really nice work on those transfers. Bravo, sir. Bravo. Or ma'am. I don't know. Greenleaf Train. Oh, I liked it. Mighty Empires. Yeah. Pretty cool. Oh, wait. Okay, we're done. We're done. Okay. So not too many had to be done today. Not like last week where we were here for like an hour. Time we got here. Holy Carmelo, we've got 2 minutes left of the show. We got an email to do. Let's check back in with the comments real fast. Where am I? No idea. Simply Mini Painting. Those bikes are sexy. I love the look of them. Yeah, the bikes are really cool. And Necromunda, man, like Necromunda is kind of becoming 2nd edition 40K, but I'm mostly okay with that. I mean, I like that, we're kind of out of the hive and into, the wastes. But yeah. I mean, it allows for all sorts of craziness. I have the where the fuck is it? Oh, I got another row of boxes back there under my desk here. Anyway, I have the Ridge Hauler and I have a couple of the trailers. I want to get those assembled up. I have no idea what color to paint them. I think I want to do them for the squat prospectors, like it's something that would collaborate along with them. You know what I mean? Like it's the squats hire the guild to, you know, do this and that. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do it up so it's like, you know, it's somebody who's working with those squats, right? And I want to get the squats finished as well because I like to play with the squats. Excuse me. Nathaniel, based on the Demon Prince could be a little less overpowering in my opinion. Yeah. I think the overall scheme of it all I thought was fine. Yeah, I mean we can talk balance, but yeah, I mean when we're talking balance in any paint job, right? It's, you know, it's always debatable, right? Because the way you perceive color, because not everybody perceives color the same way, right? You gotta always remember that. Not everybody perceives the spectrum of colors the same way. There's some people who are colorblind, right? And those are the very extreme ends of the difference. But there's even minute differences between people who are of seemingly normal vision, right? Or interpretation of color. But yeah. Always got to remember that one as well. Not everybody's the same. Not everybody's interpreting it the same as you. It's kind of like hearing, right? Anyway. Scott, hey, I painted that bust a while ago. Super fun. Nathaniel, need to walk the dog. See you later, monk eyes. Later. Kim, I did send an email. Cool. Java. Those busts with the nose, we should do that as a paint along. Yeah. Yeah, we should do another paint along. Or go back to our paint along. Vasily, have you posted your squats anywhere, Chris? No. Other than the champion, that's the only one I've completed. I have like a box of the Hearthkin. Still working on them. On my pile. Man, you guys, like my office, guys, is like no joke. I only have like a small route I can move through my office here. Otherwise, I have shit everywhere. Boxes of models, loose frames all over the place. Because I started building the Kill Team Into Dark sets. Because G-Dub sent me Into Dark, Soul Shackle, the other one. So yeah, so I went crazy. I spent I think like 2 weeks where I was just sitting in my living room, set up a little hobby area in the living room. So I was watching TV with the family and everything like that, and you know, spending time with the family and getting, you know, shit done. So yeah, next is going to be painting it. I still have to prime it, but yeah. But I love all the little extras that come with them. Like Into the Dark has like broken bits. What the fuck is the second box? It's Into the Dark. Soul Shackle is the third. What's the second one? Oh, I'm gonna look it up now. I'm sure somebody's gonna type it out before I even find it. But anyway, I don't even know if the previous boxes will be on the site. Kill Team. Shadow Vaults. That was the second one. Yeah, that was the Imperial Garden Necrons. Shadow Vault. So it was Into the Dark, Shadow Vault, Soul Shackle. Right? Yes. Anyway, yeah. So I did all 3 of those sets. Got them all assembled up. And even all the little extra doodads and everything like that. They're all ready to go. I just got to start painting them. Some of the stuff should be relatively easy. Because I basically did everything that was separate. Right, so all the walls can all be attached and, you know, reconfigured and everything like that. I wanted to maintain playability, and so some of the stuff should be fairly easy to get through, like the little end caps that go on the end of the columns that lock in the walls. Yeah, those are all just going to get painted silver, metal, not silver, butt metal, not butt metal. They're going to get painted in butt metal. Anyway, yeah, ebb and flow. Hear that, everybody? Kris is reading a massive episode 400 giveaway to declutter. I mean, you probably started that as a joke, but I'm thinking that episode 400, yeah, we might have to do like a big giveaway. Because yeah, I'm overwhelmed. And on the Discord, I was a week or 2 ago, and this is for everybody, to help me to declutter. I was thinking about a tit for tat kind of situation with some people who wanted to do some commission work for me. Basically, I'm hiring out commission work so that I can get to some of my Eldar, because I have a whole bunch of Eldar here. I've got like Dark Reapers, Banshees. I got 2 boxes of Jet Bikes. I got 2 boxes of Shining Spears. I've got 2 boxes of Guardians. 2 boxes of Guardians. I have a Hemlock Wraith Fighter. What was the other box? Oh, I got 2 boxes of Howling Banshees because I wanted to make a proper unit of 10 of them, right? I got a bunch of them. What's the other box? Oh, right. I got Mogan Ra and I got Warlocks. Yeah. And I also have my Votan as well because I do want to put the Votan, and I do want to, play with the Votan because I do like the Votan. They're very cool. I haven't played a game with them yet, but yeah. So again, the idea was a tit for tat kind of thing, right? For a box. Okay. That's what I was thinking. So if you want to talk more about it, join me in the Discord. Ghost of Starman. Shadow Vaults? Yeah, Shadow Vaults. Thank you. Yeah. Ebb and Flow. That's how rumors get started. Teasing. Yeah. Well, again, episode 400 though. Yeah, we probably should do a giveaway. We probably should, right? Episode 400. That's 400 episodes. Crazy. That's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. And my coffee's getting cold, so I better hurry up. Let's do the email side of things. Where are we at? Kim, you said you sent me an email? I don't see it. I don't see it, Kim. Spam? I get these fucking emails from people all the time. NordVPN's sending me a thing? What? It's been a while since I checked my spam folder. Come on. Anyway. Yeah, so I don't I don't have the email song on here, which I've got I got to reconfigure this whole setup that I have going on here for the live stream. Anyway, let's do email. It is email time. Email time. Or whoops. Scots. There we go. Scat. There we go. Scat. It's scat. Missed the stream the other day. Was happy to see you back in action. I know a lot of people commented, but you looked leaner. Perhaps like you had been doing some, and I think I am pronouncing this right, manual labor. I think that's what people call it. Yeah, thank you for sounding it out for me. I've been focused on getting better. Not just technique, but colors and stuff. Colors and stuff. Took a real cool class at LVO from Matt Seswish, which helped a lot. Matt's really good. Matt likes to talk. Anyway, painted up this dwarf, kick it around some, have a good one. Yeah, I like Matt. Matt's a cool dude. I met him and Ben Comets way back when I did the thing for Games Workshop. Contrast paints was coming out. They invited a whole bunch of painters over. Anyway, I'm sorry, I've got to fix this window here. Let's try this. That's better. That's better. Got a full image now. Full frontal image. Some full frontal. All right. So, Scott, like the color scheme. I mean, this is where you've been at for a while. These more natural colors in your pieces. Working on non-metallic metal. Very cool. I like that it looks like it's not a lot of glazing. In fact, it's a lot of thin layers. I know glazing essentially is a bunch of thin layers, but like seeing more of your brushstroke work on the armor and the sword. I appreciate. I like it. I like they incorporate ambient reflection in the blade as it's closer to the ground. I appreciate that. That's really good stuff. I dig it, man. I dig it. I think a little bit more focus on those eyes. Just bringing those eyes out more. I want those eyes to stand out. I don't know why. I like the gemstone too. The armor, like the trim on the armor, the non-metallic metal, I dig it, and like I like that it has a nice beaten appearance, and even the presence of the brushstrokes creating that texture on the blade. That when you look at some blades, the way they grind them, it takes that appearance anyway, and so the brushstroke actually matches the way the grind marks would be. Oh, I like on that little piece. I don't know what that piece is called on the, like it would be hanging over his groin kind of thing. The buckler. I like that you got the reflection in the of the cloth behind it as well. Yeah, I can see it on the shoulder, on the hip armor as well. You got the ambient reflections going on. Very nice stuff. Again, it is very challenging. But like as far as your ability to paint a miniature, Scott, like where do you feel that you want to improve, or do you think you're missing something? Do you feel like you're not where you could be? Is that what it is? Because like honestly, I don't see anything wrong with your painting. I mean, sure, there's some areas where I mean, like for example, the base. I mean, I think bringing that little bit more of that texture out in the base would be cool. The boots feel a little bit rushed, but I really like your use of color. I don't think you really need to go all the way to black in a lot of instances. I think going more towards, well, like kind of like what you did for the armor. Say you went to a dark brown in some of those areas. Shading and not going all the way to a black. Take it to a different color. Take it to a navy blue or things of that nature. Don't go to black, and don't take it. And don't take your highlights up to a pure white, unless it's like a tiny spot light. I think also inside that glove could also create a deeper shadow, just to create that impression that there's depth in that space. Otherwise, it looks like those lip plates. You know, those folk in Africa, they have the lip plates in their faces. That's what that looks like, and I don't think that's what you want. Yeah, that blade is really fantastic. I like to work on that because I can see the grind in the metal to give it that impression of that edging. And I imagine this is probably a pretty small piece too, right? Because he's a little dwarf fellow. I think also the chainmail could also have been just a little bit more. I think a little less blending, a little less on the softer colors, and used a bit more thicker paint just to catch the high points, just so that you weren't leaking into the details. Yeah, because when you're painting a miniature, it doesn't always have to be about thin paint. You can work with a thicker paint, like right out of the bottle, and that way you can always catch those high points, right? The paint is going to go off and to do other things that you don't want it to do, right? It's all about controlling the paint. Make the paint do what you want. The paint obeys you. The paint is an extension of your will. Yeah, the sleeve, the glove. Yeah, I think I'd like to see that kind of just treated like a fake shadow in there, just so to create the impression of depth. But otherwise, Scott, that's a fantastic piece. Again, I guess really the question is like, where do you want to see yourself improving? Like, where do you see yourself? Because like looking at your work, man, it's fantastic. Like, when you went to LVO, was there a painting competition? Did you enter it? Did you place? Did you win? Scott, agree about the eyes. What's the best way to make them pop? Use a slightly brighter color. Also the lighting as well, the way you were lighting the miniature. Like, I don't know if it's actually just the like one light above the miniature, or if you actually had like all-encompassing fill lights. Because maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just the way that it looks in the picture, right? The picture, because the eyes are really deep in the back of the head, because those bushy eyebrows come so far forward, right? Creates this really hard shadow. The only other thing I can think of making the eyes pop is to use a color in the pupil or the iris. Blue, green, hazel, right? Any combination of the two. I think blue eyes would look really cool, especially, or even the color like the gemstone. You know, the gemstone is kind of that green eyes. You know, things like that. Dark Commission, nice painting. Yes. Scott, where do I want to go? I got bronze at LV. Oh, okay, cool. The difference between me and gold standard was not technique, but more of the composition, color, storytelling. I really want to get better at that. Yeah, okay. So that is more. Yeah, I would agree. Technique is not your issue. It is your use of color. The composition, that's kind of a tough one, because that is really encapsulated in your painting. But also another component of the composition that is actually slightly out of your hands is the miniature itself. The miniature itself has to have a good composition, right? That's why sometimes some miniatures, they just speak to you at a different level, even without paint on them, right? You're looking at the bare plastic and you think, this sculpture is fantastic. When you look at it at a particular angle, it looks like a scene out of a movie or an art textbook, or something like that, right? That's the pure sculpture that's talking to you at that instance, right? And that's all part of composition, the composition of the sculpture. So when you're talking about the colors, that is part of the conversation, but also the other part that is out of your hands is the sculpture itself, right? That's up to the artist who made it. And then, so really, miniature wargaming, miniature painting, this miniature hobby that we're all into, really is a bit more of like a collaborative effort, because we're working with the sculptor and putting paint on it. So realistically, this is more of a collaboration. All miniature painting is a collaboration, right? It's a collaboration between you and Games Workshop, or the designers at Games Workshop, Press, Corvus Belli, all these different companies, right? It's a collaboration with all those different, sculptors and manufacturers. And so sometimes it is kind of out of your hand, and sometimes you play into it, right? But storytelling, again, that's another one. Storytelling, that's another hard one to kind of teach, other than, I guess the easiest way to think about it is, what kind of story do you want to tell? Do you envision a moment in a movie? Imagine your favorite movies, whatever they might be, swap the characters out for whatever miniature you're working on, and put that miniature in that space, in that moment, that you would imagine that miniature would have been in that story, in that scene of the movie or whatever, and then go from there. And then tell that kind of story. Or maybe the miniature is based on something in a novel, or something of a similar thing in a novel story. And you're like, oh yeah, I really enjoyed how you envisioned this person. Because again, when you're reading books, right, you're imagining these scenarios in your head movies. And that also helps you to tell the story. So you don't have to make up anything. You can borrow from many different sources, or one source, or whatever. Combine it and make it your own. And that's really, the art side of things as well, right? So, yeah. Scott, the glove was a mistake. Would have been easy to blend to a shadow effect. Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, he's GW scale. Okay, yeah, so he's a little wee fella. So, yeah, the painting is fabulous. And like I said, I honestly see very, very few things in your work that I go, he's doing that wrong, or he could be doing that better. Again, painting is largely subjective. So anybody telling you doing it wrong, I mean, if you're sticking your paintbrush in your ass, swirling in your paint, licking it, and then immediately applying it to your paintbrush, to your model, you might be doing that wrong. That's an extreme example, but I mean, like, it's very few things, in miniature painting, in painting, and in art in general, because again, you are the artist. You determine the story. You determine the colors. You determine the composition. You determine technique. It's all about you. What do you want to tell people about you in your work? Right? I think that's about the easiest way to kind of wrap your head around a lot of this stuff. It's personal. And if you're painting for just personal reasons, then yeah, whatever anybody says about your work, especially, you're very unlikely to share your work online in that instance. For anybody who's truly like, I only paint for myself, nobody ever sees their work, versus somebody who is painting to get likes, get noticed, get recognition, these kind of things, right? Validation. These are all human reasons to do this kind of thing. You kind of have to be careful, especially for the likes, clicks, the admiration side of things, the acknowledgements. Like, if you truly are really wanting that and you're pushing that, like, that's what you want out of your miniature painting, I don't know. I have thoughts. Because again, that speaks more of ego. And your pursuit is ultimately hollow in that instance. If you were just after it for the clicks, the likes, the admiration, the clout, whatever you want to call it, if that's the only reason you're painting, then that's a pretty hollow reason to paint. And what does it accomplish? Okay, just so that you can tell people how great you are. Like, again, that's pretty hollow. It's empty. It's vacant. Vapid. Let's grab a thesaurus and let's find some other words to use there. Because, yeah, like, it's, pointless. Paint for you. Paint for yourself. There's absolutely nothing wrong for having completely selfish reasons for why you paint. Just for me. It's therapy for me. It makes me feel good. Brings me back to a time when I was happier. I want to recapture some of that happiness. I want to try and relive vicariously through my experiences. Right? But if it's just for, I just want to tell everybody how great I am. Snore. That's boring. It's everybody else. That's everybody else on the internet. So ego doesn't impress me. And in fact, when I encounter people, and when you're having a conversation with them, and you can tell immediately, because as soon as you state something, and they immediately counter with what happened to them, but it was bigger, more extreme, more more over the top. That's their ego talking, because it all has to be about them, right? That's their ego. So anytime you're asking somebody and you're having a conversation, I'm like, yeah, so I went to the store the other day and my car got a flat. Well, the other day I was going to the store and I got a flat, and then the tire flew off and I went off. You know what I mean? Like, were you even listening? But yeah. Sophie, we all like the likes and well dones. It's natural, but it has to be about much fun you're having and exploring new ideas when painting and building miniatures and scale models. Yes. Oh yeah. 100%. Appreciate it, man. I got to hang out with Matt and Ben, Matt DePietro and others. They really sparked a fire to try and achieve different things with mini painting. Yeah. Oh yeah. They're also encouraging at that level. Oh yeah. No, Ben, Matt and Ben, Matt, hilarious. Ben, I still owe him a beer. And yeah. Ben's a real chill dude. I like Ben. Kris, the guy who's always is to win the story, is called Sir Topham around here. Oh, Sir Topham, yes. Sir Topham. Yeah. They always it's the one-upman, right? It's the one-upman. Yeah. Yeah, that's what that is. That's ego. And any instant, it doesn't have to be miniature painting, just when you're talking to somebody and immediately their response is they're talking about themselves, but the experience that you were sharing with them, they had that same thing, but bigger because it was happening to them. And as soon as somebody as soon as somebody responds with that after I tell them something, I immediately disengage. I have no time or inkling or patience for people's overblown sense of ego, self-importance. It doesn't impress me. Everyone, Sophie says, everyone has that friend who's already done something you want to try out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's another facet of one-upman, or Sir Topham. I kind of like that, Sir Topham. But yeah, it's ego. It's all ego. That's all it is. And you start throwing in things like narcissism and these other personality traits, and you end up with really fucking goofy people. And I know a few in this community, and it's boring. They're usually quite simple. I know a few, and they're simple. They are simple. They're easy to manipulate because, again, if a horse likes a carrot, you can always dangle a carrot in front of him. And he'll go where you want him to go. Anyway. I think we're done. Right? We got the Instagram, we got the emails. Oh, Kim. Yeah. Kim, did you send an email? Oh, now I got fucking 2. Shit. You know what? I'm going to save these for next week. I'm sorry. I'm going to save these for next week. Or next episode. You know what I mean. Not next week. Because we're not going to do it in one episode. But John, just John. John, I got your email. You got a picture of a tube in there too. And then Kim, yeah, I got your email, Kim. Thank you. You didn't share these on Discord, did you? These don't look familiar. Now everybody's like, well, I want to see. If you want to see what everybody's working on, join us on Discord. We post on the Discord. We do. A bunch of us share our work on Discord. Just join us on Discord. You want to keep the conversation rolling, happening? Join us on the Discord. Do it right now. I'll stop. Anywho, where the hell am I? David Vega. I paint for myself. No one taught me how to paint. Made a lot of mistakes, but listening to your podcast, do what you like. Paint what you like. Yes, exactly, right? Again, it's your hobby. You do whatever you like, right? If you're all about glazing and blending or whatever technique, name the technique. Name the paints. That's what you enjoy. Do it, right? I tease Kim about just buying every fucking paint out there. But I mean, if he's having fun, this is the hobby for him. This is what he enjoys. By all means, carry on. Don't listen to me. Carry on doing what you do. If it makes you happy, do it. Doesn't hurt anybody else, do it, right? Doesn't negatively impact anybody else, go right ahead. Knock yourself out. Figuratively, not literally. Unless that's what you want to do. But yeah, David, yeah. Making lots of mistakes, like when we talk about making mistakes, everybody's all like, oh, you made a mistake. Oh no, he must be a bad painter. No, everybody makes mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Perfection is not real. Perfection is not attainable. Perfection is made up. It's a made up thing. So why try to attain a goal that is unrealistic? It's fantasy. You might as well say, well, I want to have a real lightsaber. I want to shoot real laser beams. I want to fly around in the Starship Enterprise. These are unrealistic goals right now, today, right now. Those are unrealistic goals. Stop kidding yourself. perfection is not real. Stop thinking that it has to be perfect for you to enjoy it. Mistakes, you're going to make plenty of them. And in fact, embrace that, love it, enjoy it, because those are the learning opportunities. Because if you're making mistakes, that means that you're still learning. And you know what? Even the pros, even the people who do this for a living, even any professional expert still makes mistakes. Nothing's perfect. Perfection does not exist outside of anything humans can do. The universe can create perfection. We can't. Anyway, Kim, paint collecting is a hobby in itself for me. Yeah. Oh yeah. No. I know, Kim, and I know. I tease you a lot about buying every paint. But if that's what brings you happiness, keeps you sane, keeps you engaged, and everything like that, by all means, continue to do it. Even the people who buy boxes and boxes of miniatures and never get to them, right? They buy model kits and, I'll get to it eventually. All right. If it makes you happy, by all means, as long as it's not hurting anybody, as long as it's not negatively impacting anybody, by all means. Evan Belleau, Po Buddies Nerfic. Yeah. Sophie, well, guess the thought of Henry Cavill and Tom Hardy taking me out for a meal will never happen then. Well, the odds are very low, but what is the idea of perfection in that regards, right? Like the thought of that ever happening is low, but the odds aren't zero. The odds aren't zero. Even for me, the odds aren't zero. Now, if we want to play the odds game, well, Sophie, you're in the UK, I'm in Canada. Tom Hardy and Henry Cavill, I believe, are in the UK, right? So the odds are slightly better for the odds of that happening for you than they are for me, right? So, feel better about that one. The odds are better, Sophie, that you will have dinner with Tom Hardy and Henry Cavill. The odds are better for you than they are for me. Right? So, sleep well. Sleep well. Sleep well, my friend. If you're brand new to this hobby, you want some help with a paint scheme, maybe there's a particular painting technique that's got you confuddled. Maybe you just want to show off what you're working on. Send your questions to Kris@wayofthebrush.com. If you want to share what you're working on Instagram, use the hashtag #WayOfTheBrush. You can use the hashtag #WayOfTheBrush anywhere. Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Use it. Go ahead. Use it. I'll see it. I'll use it. Tag it. Whatever. Tag it and bag it. Yeah, we could do that too. I'll see it. But if you want me to see your work, right, comment and critique, then send the email. I prefer that. That is the omission or the admission that it is okay for me to be critical of your work rather than Instagram, because I don't really comment on people's work on Instagram because I know that people will just share things just to share them. Here's what I'm working on. I really don't care what you're thinking. What do you think about it? Just sharing it, just showing what you're working on. And so that's why I don't really comment on people on Twitter and Instagram and, all these kind of social spaces. I don't, because somebody has posted something on the internet is not an invitation for somebody to bash it, praise it, whatever, right? I mean, deep down inside that person might be, but like I said earlier about if that's the only reason you're doing that stuff is to get that positive, dopamine hit, then that's not enough. My opinion, anyway. Evan Belleau. I stole that from Metalopocalypse. That's from Simpsons. That's a Simpsons reference. Po Buddies Nerfic. That's when they go to Australia. I watch a lot of Simpsons. I used to. Classics. Anyway, go Starman. Never tell me the odds. Yeah. Scott Raider. Have a good one. Later, duders. Yeah. So emails, Instagrams, hashtags. Go to the site. Send the link. T-shirts. Get a T-shirt. Helps me. Watch this on YouTube. Join members. Members only videos. A lot of the fresh tips, actually, my tutorials are members only now. I just moved them to members only because there wasn't a lot of viewership anyway. And so I thought, well, screw it. I'll make it members only. And that way people who really enjoy my work can enjoy it. And, and yeah, if you want to post comments or whatever and ask questions, by all means, go right ahead. So yeah, even the fresh tips that I've just been producing for the Seraphon, eventually those will get membered only. Eventually. I don't know. I haven't really decided how long I'll leave videos public, but yeah, they'll eventually all go members only. Again, I don't really post to tell people how awesome I am. I'm more concerned about helping you all become happier, more efficient painters. That's my concern. That's the only reason I've done this for almost 12 years. I've almost done this 12 years. Started 2011. When I started putting myself out there on the internet, it was 2008. Sharing Warhammer stuff. Because when I did my blog, I still kind of do my blog, but 2008 was when I started sharing shit on the internet. Anyway. Links down below. Patreon, waythebrush.com. All the links. Discord, join us on the Discord. We want to keep asking questions and sharing what you're working on. We have many different channels, many different topics, and I do prefer PG-13 to R. So if you are underage or you don't really care for that kind of language, be warned. Just like this show. Be warned. You've been warned. You have been warned. And I warn everybody at the beginning. Because I like being transparent about things. Lion Noir. I take it members only means patrons are welcome, right? Yes. Well, again, some of the videos, I have to post them twice in my channel. One for the patrons, one for the members only. Just because, I don't know, when you make something members only, Patreon, it no longer is visible to Patreon. So I have to post them twice. So my channel is full of fucking doubles and shit because I want to make sure everything's available for everybody, right? But patrons is where there's more treats. The members only, I haven't quite done enough with that. So everybody who's joined me on members only on YouTube, thank you very much. And I do want to make things more enticing and more valuable and that. So feel free to chime in with ideas. Please. My ears are always open. They're open. My ending spiel is all fucked up. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. Yeah, I got nothing else. Take care of your brushes. They'll take care of you, and I'll see you guys next time. the every other way the brush. So yeah, so the next time, okay, because there was a bit of confusion this morning on Discord. People were asking, is Kris doing a show? And I was like, yeah. Because last time we did a show was the 15th. Today's the 29th. So not the 6th, but where the fuck is the next button? May. Let's go May. The 13th. So May 13th is the next time we'll do Away the Brush. May 13th. Okay? Everybody? Yeah? All right. Everybody's got that now? Anyway. A Fortnite. This is Fortnite Way the Brush? Way the Brush Fortnite? I should play some Fortnite. It's been a while since I played Fortnite. I haven't played any video games. Hell Let Loose. I gotta play some Hell Let Loose. I want to play Bolt Gun. I'm probably gonna buy Bolt Gun. Maybe I'll stream it. Maybe. Possibly. Job is left nut. Naked makes everything more enticing. That's, and honestly, that's what I was thinking too. Like, I mean, would it be okay if I, showed everybody my man boobs, my moobs? There's nothing more manly than man boobs. Honestly, right? I mean, man boobs make the man. You can't have man boobs without being a man, right? So man boobs. There we go. So I'll show everybody my man boobs. I'll put them together. Let's get the hell out of here. Before I say something really dumb, I just get the hell out of here. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's go enjoy the rest of the day. Let's get some minis painted. Let's get some assemblies done. Let's play some games. And if not, let's just be kinder to each other, please. Can we just be a little bit kinder to each other? You know, if you have nothing nice to say nothing. Probably why nobody talks to me. Alrighty, get out of here.